Game number 20 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. We have officially reached the halfway point here as the Harwich Mariners are looking to end their 4-game slide tonight here against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Harbor Hawks, a team who have beat them in the 2 previous matchups, one back at White House, the second game of the season, a 5-1 loss for the M's, and then back on June the 27th at McKeon Park, a 5-2 loss. Both tough games, but thank you for joining us. Devin Dobeck alongside Carson Trail here up in Al Graber Press Box at White House Field. And Carson, Mariners desperately looking to end that slide, as we've already mentioned. And tonight, an opportunity against a team they've had trouble with, but they can always end it.
Yeah, a little bit of a shake-up in the lineup, too. No Michael Anderson, no Henry Godbout. The latter, of course, because he fouled a ball off his front or his leg against Chatham. But a good time to play a baseball game after a day off. Desperately needing the reset after a rough loss to Chatham on the road. Coming back home, familiar confines and very spacious ones, very nice ones. I'm sure they've been very comfortable here so far. And they're playing against a team that have had their numbers so far, a chance to turn things around.
A lot to unpack there, but let's start with the Chatham game. Of course, the off day yesterday, but 2 nights ago they played the Chatham Anglers, a game in which they led 8-1. At the end of the second inning, they were up 7 runs, and then all of a sudden, bad went to worse, and the Harwich Mariners fell apart. I mean, Chatham with a comeback. They end up walking it off in extra innings, 13-12 the final score. Just 9 hits for each side and no errors. It was the walks, 21 total walks between the 2 pitching staffs. And for the Mariners, they went 4 for 22 with runners in scoring position. And then aside from that, they stranded 14 runners on base. So they only have themselves to blame. Yeah, you put up a dozen runs, but it wasn't enough. So they got to start looking for answers, and hopefully they can figure them out against the Hawks tonight.
Good time to have your ace on the mound, too. The bullpen really struggled in the 8th, 9th, and 10th innings, allowing a combined 8 runs against the Anglers, 4 of which came without a hit in that 8th inning. Walks and wild pitches and hit batsmen only, accounting for a large chunk of that Anglers comeback. Ryan DeSanto, a guy that will hopefully bring this pitching staff back down to earth. Their ERA leader, their whip leader, not a guy who allows a lot of traffic on the bases. Coming off an outing in which he walked a career or a season most 3 batters of the year, which is still pretty good. In 5 innings pitched, allowing 1 earned run and 3 hits. He went at 84 pitches, and I'm sure that even he'll tell you that he could have been a little bit more efficient in that stretch. So look for him to, even after a strong previous 3 starts to the year, hoping to improve upon his previous performance.
Yeah, you mentioned DeSanto, a guy who comes in with a whip of .87 paired with that 1.20 earned run average, 15 innings and 8 strikeouts, just 3 walks. He pitches to contact. He finds ways to get outs, and that's kind of been his MO all season. Not going to blow a lot by you, sits in the low to mid, sometimes 90s, and he's a guy who Harwich has looked to get them through innings, eat innings. He's had just about 5 innings in each of his 3 starts on average, and he's a guy who really needs to get going against this Harbor Hawks team. But for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, they got Andres Galan going for them tonight. Carson, and what can you tell us about him?
Well, so far, Galan, the midweek starter for the University of California, the newest, or one of the newest additions to the ACC this year. He's a guy with a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, and a couple of different breaking balls, actually, a curveball and a slider. He can land all of them for strikes, but none of them are just outright nasty pitches like we saw from a couple of different arms this year on other teams. Guy that fills up the zone, averaging about a strikeout per inning here on the Cape. I think he's going to fill it up this evening.
We will take a break for the national anthem. Be right back for Harwich Mariners baseball on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
We welcome you back to Harwich Mariners baseball on Cape League TV. If you're just joining us, Devin Doback alongside Carson Trail with Dave Roberts on the production end of things. Up here high in Al Graber press box as the Mariners look to snap a 4-game losing skid. Well, they currently sit third in the Cape Cod East Division standings, just 2 points above the Brewster Whitecaps and 2 behind the Chatham Anglers. The Windy Red Sox pulling away 10 ahead from the Mariners, though. It's an uphill battle from here on out, and we've hit the halfway point, so things got to start getting put in motion here. As with that being said, we'll shift gears and take a look at the Hyannis Harborhawks starting batting order. Leading off, the center fielder, Kane Kepley, batting second. The shortstop, Alex Lodis, batting third. The first baseman, Michael Datalo. In the cleanup spot at second base is John Gazdar. Batting fifth, doing the designated hitting, is Eric Snow. Batting sixth, the catcher, Jackson West. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Anthony Silva. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Nick Groves. And rounding out the top 9 in left is Josh Tate. Mitch Carricker is the Hyannis Harborhawks manager. They come in with a record of 10-8-1, good for third in the Cape Cod West Division standings. 5 points out of first, which is held by the Wareham Gatemen, and then Katuitt 3 points ahead of Hyannis at 12-7-0. Well, Carson, it's now or never for the Mariners. Really got to start to get things going. It reminds me a little bit of last season. They started 8-3, and then all of a sudden, they only won 20 of their 44 games. So they won 12 of their last, quick math, 33 games. It was a slide and something that Steve Engler's looking to avoid here. What's going to be the thing that helps them get back on track?
Well, he's shaking up the lineup, so that's a place to start. Bristol Carter leading off, and Ryan Weingartner hitting third today. Of course, Michael Anderson and Henry Godbout both getting days off. Jake Ogden, a guy who has been kind of struggling in the month of July so far, but always a guy poised to break out and put some good swings on the baseball. I think that him down in the 5 spot, and then the 6 through 9, Maldonado, Heyman, Fattori, and McNulty, got to start producing and setting the table for the big guys.
All right, DeSanto pitching exclusively out of the stretch per usual. The lefty comes set, and we are underway with a first pitch ball. 6:29, 1 minute ahead of our scheduled 6:30 start. And Kane Kepley now ahead in the count. We'll try and get things going for the Hawks. He's put together quite the campaign here in 2024. On his way to an all-star game, almost you can say with full confidence. 1 ball, 1 strike from DeSanto, but for Kepley this season out here in center field tonight. Kepley, a guy out of Liberty, and he's played 19 games for the Hawks. So participant in each of their 19 games. Ahead in the count now 2-1, but he's been just absolutely fantastic, hitting .279 with a .483 on-base percentage, and he can kill you on the bases. DeSanto's 2-1 offering misses outside. It's 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, in the first part of his season, and his couple of games against Harwich have been full example of that. On base a lot more than half the time, and stolen 3 bases in 2 games.
3-1 is cut on and fouled off to load the count full at 3-2. Mariners in their home cream uniform, says Mariners across the chest in navy blue numbers on the back, all trimmed in red, cream pants, and then navy blue socks with red and white stripes on them, and then the blue Mariner cap with a red brim. Payoff pitch. Fouled off. Would have been ball 4, but Kepley couldn't get the bat down, and so we'll have to hang in there and see another. As for the Harborhawks, sporting their road royal blue uniform, says Hyannis across the chest in orange script. Orange numbers on the back, all trimmed in white, gray pants with a blue stripe down the side, and royal blue hats with the Hawk logo. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Kepley. DeSanto wins the battle. That'll be his 9th strikeout of the season. In jeopardy of walking him there for a bit, but DeSanto, not a guy who walks a lot of people, did not walk a single guy through his first 10 innings in the Cape Cod Baseball League, but then 3 in his last outing. There, he's able to battle back and earn a strikeout.
Yeah, always a guy you want to keep off base. Kane Kepley, a prolific stolen base threat. Very much a contact-oriented hitter, so great job getting the swing and miss.
Next pitch, Alex Lodis is in there for a strikeout, 0-1. Standing in the right-hand side, opposing the lefty DeSanto. Favorable matchup for him, and here's the 0-1. Big cut and a miss. Swung out of his shoes that time, and he's quickly going to have to protect that 0-2. Lodis standing in 6'1", 189 out of Florida State, native of St. John's, Florida. 0-2. Swing and a high drive out in the gap in left center field. Ranging out is Bristol Carter. By the warning track, he hauls it in. And it's a loud out number 2 as we're set to meet the Harwich Mariners starting defense. Out in the outfield, Vince Vittori's in left with Bristol Carter in center and Cam Maldonado in right. In the infield, Jake Ogden's at third. Sam McNulty is your shortstop with Cade Curlin at second. Matt Scannell at first, and Luke Heyman completing the battery with Ryan DeSanto. 2 away for Michael DiTallo, the 3-hole hitter, starting at first base tonight for the Hawks. First pitch is in there for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. DiTallo's done so much damage in the heart of the order for the Harbor Hawks this season, a guy who they've relied on time and time again. But this time he'll pop it up in the infield. Calling for it is Curland in shallow center, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Ryan DeSanto and the Mariners. We'll take a break. Still no score from White House as we head to the home half of the first to meet the Harwich Mariners batting order on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Home half of the first inning as we're set to meet the Harwich Mariners starting batting order for Steve Engler. Leading off the center fielder Bristol Carter, batting second at second base is Cade Curland. Batting third, the designated hitter Ryan Weingartner. In the cleanup spots, the first baseman Matt Scannell. Batting fifth at third base is Jake Ogden. Batting sixth out in right field is Cam Maldonado. Batting seventh, the catcher Luke Heyman. Batting eighth, the left fielder Vince Vittori. And batting ninth is the shortstop Sam McNulty. Well, you may be wondering, there's a couple big names in that Harwich Mariner batting order that you got into a little bit in the pregame show, Carson. That being Henry Godbout, who has a team-high 4-game hit streak, and Michael Anderson, who leads the team in a lot of categories, included but not limited to home runs with 5, and of course 19 RBI to go along with that, and OPS over 1. So without those two guys, who are you going to look for to step up their game and provide some production in that vacancy?
Well, a couple of guys come to mind. Jake Ogden averaged down after a 3-for-19 start in July, but he knows what he wants, has a great approach, always liable to run into one. And then Matt Scannell, up to the cleanup spot after struggling to start his year, has been putting together multi-hit games, and then he's on a 3-game hit streak of his own, including 3 runs batted in against Chatham.
Andres Galan will toe the rubber to start things. 6'4", 215 right-hander out of California. This season for the Harbor Hawks has a record of 1-0 with a 4.66 earned run average through 3 games. 9 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and then a 1.034 whip. He's a guy who finds a way to retire batters. 10 strikeouts for him across those 9+ innings. As Carter rips one right at the shortstop into the glove of Alex Lodis, and there's quickly one away. That ball was scorched by Carter.
And I think that that's something we hopefully can expect from the Mariners tonight. More hard contact. And Galan, a guy who fills up the zone. So if you find a pitch that you want, Mariners not likely to hesitate. Get in the barrel to it the way that Carter just did despite the out.
Cade Curlin digs in, carrying a 6-game on-base streak into tonight. First pitch to him, he rolls over to the third baseman, Anthony Silva, across the diamond and in time. 2 up, 2 down, as now we'll meet the Hyannis Harbor Hawks starting defensive group. Out in the outfield, Josh Tate's in left with Kane Kepley in center. Nick Groves is out in right. In the infield, Anthony Silva's at third base. Alex Lodis is at short with John Gazdar over at second and Michael Vitalo at first. Jackson West does the catching for Galan. Line out to short and a ground out to third brings up Ryan Weingartner, who, as we've mentioned, has been an integral part of this Mariner team, hitting .267. Watches ball one go by, 1-0. Next pitch to him is fouled off.
And Weingartner, a guy who's really liable to draw out at bats. Good to see him down in the 3 spot. One of the team OBP leaders, guy that loves to draw down at bat, and after a quick 2 up, 2 down, absolutely the right guy up there in the spot.
16 walks for the Penn State product this season. That leads the Harwich Mariners as the 1-1 misses outside. He's also scored 12 runs, which leads the team, and stolen 6 bases, which is tied at the top. 2 balls and 1 strike. Galan rocks and fires, misses up high that time, and it's 3-1. Weingartner, we haven't really seen in the heart of the order much before. He's usually the leadoff guy, and at times we've seen him in the 8 or 9 spot, but never here hitting in the 3-hole. So he's a guy second on the team in home runs as he lifts that one out to deep left field, going back his Tate, and it clangs off the bottom of the wall. Rounding first, heading into second is Weingartner, and he's got himself a stand-up double. That ball had legs and eyes for going over the fence, but it just held up enough, and instead it's a 2-out double for the former St. Joseph's Hawk, and that will start things here in the first for the Mariners.
Great piece of contact from Weingartner. Don't let his size fool you. He's a guy who's liable to run into 3 home runs on the year, and then another extra base hit coming a few feet short of his 4th.
Matt Scannell's turn. Scannell in the cleanup spot today. Another guy we've seen in the bottom half of the order most of the season, but all of a sudden he's started to have a hot bat. Multi-hit games for him in 2 of his last 3 games. He's ahead in the count 1-0. And we know he's got some power and ability to drive in runs. Engler showing his confidence in him, putting him in the cleanup spot. Former Princeton Tiger headed now to Wake Forest for his grad season. And a second-year Mariner. It's ball, no strikes from Galan. Weingartner carefully leading off of second. Now the pitch. Right in there at the knees once again, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Scannell, don't let his recent or his overall numbers fool you. He's a guy always capable of turning in a productive at-bat. 2 outs, man at second. Ideal outcome is a base hit to score a run, but he's the guy right now.
1-1. Fouled back into the netting, and it's 1-2. It was a very slow start for Matt Scannell. Took him just about a half dozen games in order to get on the hit sheet. But since then, really has got things going. A 3-game hit streak coming in tonight. That's second on the team, tied with Luke Heyman, just behind Godbout. Ball and 2 strikes now. 2 away. The pitch. Breaking ball is popped up. Foul territory, and it will escape up and out of play over the press box, so we'll do it again.
Starting to get that pitch count for Galan up there. Only at 12 so far, but Scannell about to see the 5th offering of this at-bat.
The Stone Oak, Texas native stands in the left-hand batter's box and awaits the 1-2 offering. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. So says third base umpire Scott Hart. He'll be over at third tonight with Mike Lum at first and Martin Hassenfuss calling the balls and strikes. That's your crew for this evening as the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Borderline check swing from Scannell that time, but he gets away with it. Waggling the bat in front of him. Galan checks the runner down at second and Weingartner, and now will come home. This one's lined into center field for a base hit. Weingartner rounding third, heading home. He will score easily. And Matt Scannell delivering after being bumped up in the lineup. Checks in with an RBI, and the Mariners take the early lead at 1-0.
Another day, another Matt Scannell run-scoring hit. Weingartner flying around third base, scoring easily on that one. And Scannell, a well-deserved RBI knock to give the Mariners the 1-0 lead.
And for Matt Scannell, it's got to feel so good to all of a sudden find this rhythm and catch his stride here, earning his spot in the lineup day in and day out. Also the team leader in sack flies, which shows that he's willing to do it any way possible. That time a base hit. Jake Ogden now will dig in. He watches ball one miss outside. It's got to feel good for Harwich to jump out to a lead. Not something they've been able to say they've had against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks through 2 games. There goes Scannell. The throw down will not be in time. Skips into center field past the glove of John Gazdar. And now he's in scoring position for one of the top 3 RBI guys on the team in Jake Ogden.
Scannell, an opportune time to steal the base. Good pitch to run on low and in the dirt. Now Ogden ahead 2-0. Poised to let it eat.
Ogden 11 runs batted in on the young season. He's also got a pair of home runs. Here comes the 2-0 hitters count pitch to him. Breaking ball snapped in there for a strike on the outer half, and it's 2-1. Ogden was at UNC Greensboro this past season before announcing his commitment to transfer over to Miami. Out in Florida to play for the Hurricanes this past season at Greensboro. Hit .313 with a .385 on-base percentage. The 2-1. Big cut and a miss. Took him down to a knee. And the Deuces become wild at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Ogden has struck out 12 times this season through his 17 games he's played in. Top 5 in at-bats for the Mariners as well, or rather number 2 behind just Michael Anderson. Foul tip this one, and it won't be held on to by Jackson West, so Ogden stays alive. Overcast and muggy evening here at the ballpark, 81 degrees, but that humidity really adding to the effect here at the ballpark, I should say. Feels like an extra 4 degrees. Sticky weather, but still a great turnout here for baseball on a wonderful Tuesday evening. 2-2 pitch. This one's lifted out to deep center field. Going back is Kepley and settles under it and makes the catch. The Mariners strike first, though, thanks to a pair of hits, and take the lead 1-0. Matt Scannell with another RBI as we now head to the second inning. 1-0 M's on Cape League TV.
Whether at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
For injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
To the second inning we go. The Mariners on top of the Hawks. 1-0 here. Ryan DeSanto, after a 1-2-3 first, will look to build on that success against a very difficult customer in John Gazdar. Gazdar has been a Mariner killer. He hit the first home run against them of the season. That was right here at White House over the left field wall. Got all of that one. But Gazdar, a guy with 17 runs batted in. He was the league leader for quite some time before the emerge of Vahiva Aloy of the YD Red Sox, who has just taken everything by storm, up now in the low 20s in his RBI count. Gazdar ahead in the count 1-0. And the pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt, and it's 1-1. DeSanto, the lefty, works very quickly and efficiently. Just about 5 seconds tick off that pitch clock before he's ready to come home once again. Gazdar lifts this one out in a shallow center field. Long run in for Carter, and he can't get there. Falls right in front of him, and the Hawks secure their first hit of the ball game. It belongs to John Gazdar.
Not a hard piece of contact there either. Bristol Carter playing deep, respecting Gazdar's prolific power. Came racing in, but it fell well in front of him.
Eric Snow's turn. He had a great ball game against the Mariners in their last meeting. Tore them apart. It was a big reason why the Hawks were able to lift themselves to victory. First pitch, fouled off, 0-1. Snow this season for the Hawks has participated in 14 games, hitting .310 with a .367 on-base percentage. He's tallied 11 runs batted in. And a very difficult out here in his second summer in the Cape. He's bumped his average up about 50 points from last season, improving his game by the day. After a couple of years at South Florida, he's behind in the count 0-2 now.
Pinata swing and a miss.
Yeah, it was a healthy hack, that is for sure. As we're set for the 0-2 pitch. DeSanto comes home, and this one's flied out to right field. Scannell going back at the track, at the wall. It clangs off the wall. Scannell crashes into the fence, but recovers. Into third, standing is Gazdar, and it's a stand-up double for Eric Snow. The Hawks come alive here in inning number 2.
And even after an ugly swing, Eric Snow stays balanced and continues to own the Mariners this year. His 4th hit and a couple of feet shy of picking up 2 more runs batted in.
I tell you what, that ball seemed to keep carrying. Looked like it might be an easy can of corn for Matt Scannell, or rather for Cam Maldonado out in right field, but sprinting right after it, crashed into the wall. It just continued to lift out there. Now Jackson West will dig in, the catcher. First pitch to him, misses outside, 1-0. So used to Scannell in the lineup being out there in right field, but with Anderson's absence today, he bumps up to first base. 1-0 pitch. This is up high, 2 balls and no strikes. After West, it'll be Anthony Silva, barring what might be the greatest play in Cape Cod Baseball League history of a triple play without a force out other than first. 2-0 pitch. Fouled back and off the pipe behind home plate. Count shifts to 2 balls and 1 strike. Humidity definitely a factor. You can see a lot of these players tugging at their jerseys, sticking to them. Might give the pitchers a little help. Get a little better grip on the baseball. 2-1. Grounded over to Matt Scannell at first. No one covering the bag. DeSanto was caught sleeping. And then Scannell whips it across the diamond. And it is a bad news bears style play for the Mariners, as what should have been at least 1 out turns into nothing, and a pair of runs for the Hawks. Down in a second is Jackson West, and we'll see how they score this. But an ugly showing for the Mariners.
Yeah, that one tough. Always want to avoid making unnecessary throws. It started when DeSanto, very late to break to cover the bag, sort of just gave up on the play. Scannell, rocket arm still calibrated to outfield. Launched that one over the head of Ogden.
So Anthony Silva will dig in, the third baseman, trying to build on the already big inning for the Hawks. Swings and misses at the breaking ball in there at 79 miles per hour to make it 0-1. Well, yeah, just a lot of things went wrong in that last play. Scannell making a nice play to glove it down, but it was hit kind of in the gap over between first and second, so DeSanto kind of assumed that Curlin was going to make the play, and Scannell would be home to cover the bag. Instead, no out at first, and Scannell, getting greedy, tries to grab the runner at third, instead throws it away, and just like that, Hyannis in front. Short-lived lead for the Mariners. 1-1 from DeSanto. Fouled off once again, and it's 1-2. Scannell is credited in error. And they'll give Jackson West a single, an infield single at that. Long look in for DeSanto, trying to minimize the damage and help his own cause after the blunder. 1-2 pitch. Misses way outside, 2-2. Pretty big lead down at second base for Jackson West. It's especially secondary lead. Something to keep an eye on, see if they put them in motion. The Harbor Hawks do like to steal bases. They've taken more than the Mariners this season with 37, opposed to 33. 2-2 misses up high, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Still got to keep filling up the zone. As tough as it is to come right at hitters after the defense makes a play like the one that was just made. Still got to give them the chance to.
Payoff pitch. Joss misses inside. And so just like that, first and second, with nobody gone down for the 8-hitter, Nick Groves.
And that's 4 straight who have reached base now. Groves, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, still a potent threat as Steve Engler coming out for a conversation with DeSanto.
Yeah, he'll be joined by Luke Heyman, the catcher, just probably trying to talk him through this weird inning. And, of course, a bit of a jam that seemingly came out of nowhere and potentially could have been avoided, but just trying to calm his guy down. He's so great at doing that, knows exactly when they need him to de-escalate the situation and see if DeSanto can take it and run with it, as this could get a little difficult. Nick Groves, the right fielder, digging in on the left-hand side of the box. Waggles his bat around, now awaiting the pitch from DeSanto. Showing bunt, pulls it back, but the pitch outside on the breaking ball, 1-0. There is activity out in the Harwich bullpen. Jack Bowery. 1-0 pitch. On the inside corner for a strikeout, 1-1 now. How did we get here? John Gazdar led off the inning with a single to center before Eric Snow doubled off the wall in deep right center. And then Jackson West had an infield single, an error by Matt Scannell scored a pair, and Anthony Silva walked. This pitch is lifted out in the left field, ranging over to his left is Vittori, and he hauls it in. Much needed first out for the Mariners as the runners retreat to their respective bases.
Yeah, good job by DeSanto to get the unproductive out, even as this inning is dragged on. Willing to pitch to some contact. Now just one pitch away. Get a change up down in the zone. Guy rolls over. Could be a pair to end the inning.
So Josh Tate will dig in now, the 9-hitter, before the lineup card will likely flip over, barring a double play. DeSanto surveys and comes home, fouled off to the right into the seats, and it's 0-1. A lot of off-speed pitches ranging in the mid-70s to the low 80s for Ryan DeSanto. That fastball lingering around the 90 mark here tonight. Here comes the 0-1. Fought off, and count shifts to 0-2. DeSanto with just the 1 strikeout tonight, which was the first batter of the game in Kane Kepley. This will be a big time to string together another one. This game, of course, although it feels so deflating already for the Mariners, is only a 1-run ball game. You're able to get out of this with no more harm done. More than likely, you'll be able to stretch across another in the next 8 innings. Double steal in motion. Heyman the throw down to third. The tag not in time. So the Hawks double steal, and it pays off. Now the force play is eliminated. And they got runners in both second and third. It was a good throw by Heyman, but I think it kind of just surprised everybody. And, of course, a really good jump that time, led by Jackson West. 1-2. Into foul territory. Long run for Scannell, heading over towards the fence and looking to make the basket catch. Instead, it falls in. And if he was able to make that catch, you got to think that Jackson West would have thought about taking home, because it would have been a really difficult play for Matt Scannell to turn around and make an accurate throw to the plate in the time that he was collecting himself. 1 and 2 the count. DeSanto comes set at the chest and now delivers. Flair in a shallow right field, long run in for Maldonado, and he won't get there. Drops in front of him. In to score easily is West. And it's a 4-hit inning for the Harbor Hawks as they extend their lead to 2.
Yeah, Maldonado racing in, sort of let up at the end. Maybe didn't get a great read off the bat. That one sort of hit right at him with the wind blowing it towards center.
So top of the order, Kane Kepley set to get going, and this is when DeSanto's going to have to be real careful before the game gets out of hand. Kepley, a dangerous bat, and can work a pitcher. First pitch to him on the inside corner for a strike, although he may disagree, and it's 0-1. 89 on the fastball that time from the former St. Joseph's Hawk turned Penn State Nittany Lion. 0-1. Big cut and a miss. Pitch just above the letters, got him to chase, and it's 0-2. After Kepley, it'll be Ladis. Harwich trailing now by 2 after scoring a run in the home half of the first. Hyannis responds with 3 in the top of the second. 0-2 pitch. Misses up high. Once again, tried to get him to climb the ladder, and he wouldn't bite. So it becomes 1-2.
Kepley's so disciplined, able to get the swinging strikeout in his first at-bat, and I think that's what DeSanto's pitching for here. With his speed, tough to double up.
1-2 misses outside on the breaking ball, and it's 2-2. 6 batters have already come up in the inning, just 1 away, and runners at the corners for the top of the order. Kepley struck out back in inning number 1. It was a 1-2-3 first for DeSanto, but as the innings have shifted, things have gotten a little more difficult. Except for the 2-2 pitch. Instead, they'll go over to first. Scannell there, no tag applied, and we'll try it again. Crowd in silence here. Shocked and stunned by the second inning that the Hawks have put together. 2-2. Popped up. Foul territory. Heyman giving it a bid, but it will come right over on the deck. General Manager Kevin Bogan making a play, showing he's still got some game left after his career ended, and flips it to a fan off the deck. Now all smiles out there. Alex Lum took the opposite approach. Instead, the other general manager ran away. Ran to the front of the deck and didn't want any part of that. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Big second strikeout for Ryan DeSanto, and both have come at the expense of Kane Kepley, who's a difficult out by way of the K. And so now DeSanto's only got to focus on the new batter and Alex Ladis.
Yeah, Kepley this past year, 53 walks to 27 strikeouts. Setting him down, swinging each time. A couple of off-balance hacks in each of his first 2 plate appearances. So good work from DeSanto. 1 out away from limiting further damage.
Ladis lines this one into left field for a base hit. In to score easily comes Anthony Silva. Josh Tate cruising into second. And the chain keeps on going for the Hard Rocks, bringing up now their 9th batter in the inning with a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, broke out the slow curveball, and Ladis was having none of it. Off to a very hot start, 9 for his first 18 with 4 extra base hits. Calmly stays back and flicks it through the left side.
DeSanto has not allowed more than 4 hits in an outing this season. 3 in his last, 4 in his second to last, and in his first just 3. He's already surrendered 5, and we're just in the second inning. So very uncharacteristic as he's ahead in the count 0-1 against Michael Detallo, the 3-hitter, who popped out to second in his first at-bat. 0-1 misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good spot to live. Make him beat you on a change-up down.
DeSanto, long look in, trying to wrap up what's been a lengthy inning and turn it back over to his offense. The 1-1. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. So says the first base umpire, Mike Lum. And so now falling behind in the count is DeSanto at 2-1. Detallo can hit for power, find a gap, you name it. He's able to do it at the plate. Uphill battle for DeSanto. Here comes the 2-1. There goes the runners. And it's fought off foul. 2-2. Mitch Carricker, I tell you, very aggressive on the base paths. A lot of double steals. Not afraid to put guys in motion.
And Harwich has given up a lot of stolen bases this year. that first double steal, the throw into third base, a very late jump for Alex Lodis away from first, the trailing runner. So I wouldn't be surprised if Heyman takes a shot at him instead of the leader, Josh Tate.
2-2 pitch. This one is given a ride out into the gap in left center field, down for a base hit, clanging all the way to the wall, in to score easily is Jackson West. Right behind him, Jackson Tate. And in with a stand-up double is Michael Detallo. 6-1 Hawks.
And I wonder how much longer DeSanto's going to be out there after this. This is the first time where he's been really hit around for hard contact. Of course, it all started with the bloop single and an error. But all of a sudden, the Hawks are teeing him up better than any team all year.
So the guy who started all this madness will dig back in, and John Gazdar singled and came around to score to start the second. And the Hawks have officially batted around. Gazdar lifts this one into shallow right field, ranging over is Maldonado, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the Hawks strike for a plethora of runs, call it 6, and they lead it 6-1 now. Mariners with some work to do coming up in the home half of the second on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Hawks hang up a crooked number in the top half and turn the baton back over to the Mariners, who now trail at 6-1. Well, they led for the first time in the season series back in the first inning by a score of 1-0. That quickly ended as the Hyannis Rocks bring 10 up to the plate, and thanks to an error, 6 hits, they score 6 runs and are starting to pull away here early in this one. Mariners going to have to find a way to respond. But, yeah, Carson, early on, just a lot of things going really south. Ryan DeSanto getting knocked around, a guy who has not allowed more than 4 hits in each of his first 3 outings, has now given up 6 through just 2 complete innings. And his ERA, which hovered around 1.20, now skyrockets. And the offense now with a lot of work to do. Maldonado digs in. Behind the count 0-1 after he fouls it off. And for these Harwich Mariners, a team already on a 4-game slide, the adversity continues to pile up. 0-1 in there at the knees, 0-2.
And maybe the way that they snap out of this funk is by dishing out what they've proven, well, what they've just taken. Big loss to Chatham after leading by about this much.
Maldonado goes down swinging, but they'll need a throw down to first. It's in time, and he is retired. First strikeout of the day for Andres Galan.
As I was saying, Mariners were up early on Chatham, and their most recent loss 2 days ago, now trailing early. If they're able to form a comeback, this might be the shift that the team needs right now.
Could be a game of the year candidate if they're able to pull that off. And yeah, you said it perfectly, Carson. They trailed by 7, or they led by 7 the other night, ended up losing that ball game. So here you got a roles reverse. We'll see if they can do what Chatham did. Ground ball to Gazdar at second on to first. And that retires Luke Heyman. Three straight Mariners have been retired. Galan starting to settle in after giving up 2 hits back in inning number 1. Vince Vittori will dig in, and he's been a positive for the Mariners. Hasn't gotten all that much playing time, but when he has made it count. Big cut and miss to start him off, and it's 0-1. But yeah, Vittori, a guy who's playing once, maybe twice a week, not getting a whole lot of action, but comes into today hitting 263, with a 462 on base percentage. 0-1 to him, misses down low, 1-1. Fattori now appearing in his 8th game for the M's, 5 hits across those, including a double and a homer. 1-1 misses down low, 2-1. Also has walked 6 times through those 7 games, so very patient in his at-bats and very selective. But along with that, 7 strikeouts. 2-1, squirted over to the first baseman, Michael Detallo. He'll run and flip on the first, and it's in time to beat Fattori, and the side is retired. Mariners go in order as we head to the 3rd inning, 6-1 Hawks on Cape League TV.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. Hey Mariners fans, join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
So the ball is turned over to Jack Bowery out of Northeastern. Night is over for Ryan DeSanto. He goes 2 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. An outing he'll likely want to forget, as Jack Bowery now will dig in. And another guy who has struggled for the Mariners thus far this season, an ERA of 7.30 with a 1.95 whip across 12 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts to 4 walks. And he has surrendered 20 hits, including 17 across the last 7 1/3 innings pitched. But a fresh slate for him now, coming in with his team trailing by 5. 1 ball, 1 strike, as Eric Snow, the 5th hitter, digs in. Pitch from Bowery this time just misses the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Before his time at Northeastern, spent some time with the Marist Red Foxes in the MAC. 2-1 in there for a strike. It's 2-2. And last summer was with the Wareham Gateman Cape Cod League. Had a record of 1-0 through 3 games. 1.68 earned run average and a .94 whip. Ground ball to McNulty at short. Over on to first in time. And Bowery starts off well with one batter and 1 out.
Yeah, good start for Bowery, getting him to roll over on the off-speed outer part of the plate. We have seen flashes of Bowery's potential to not just be a viable starter, but to be very, very good. And I think that his outing today in relief will speak volumes about his ability to be a role player.
First pitch in there for a strike to make it 0-1 to Jackson West. West singled, stole a base, and came around to score back in that big second inning for the Hawks. Bowery, the lefty, deals. Big cut and a miss. Fooled him that time. Snapped the breaking ball on the outside of the plate. And a big swing. Bowery, another guy who works rather quickly 0-2. Misses outside, 1-2. Just about 5 seconds come off that pitch clock before he's ready to go again. Big waggle in the box from Jackson West. Now Bowery rocks and fires. Big cut and a miss. He got him to go down swinging. 2 up, 2 down to start Jack Bowery. And a much needed couple outs without guys reaching base for the Mariners.
Yeah, this doesn't qualify as a shutdown inning, but from a morale standpoint, after allowing a 6 spot in the top of the second, this one could really pave the way for the offense, getting their footing and coming back in this one.
Anthony Silva will dig in, walked, stole a base, and scored back in the second inning. First pitch to him on the outside corner for a strikeout, 0-1. Silva, native of San Antonio, Texas, a TCU Horned Frog at that matter. Watches the 0-1 miss outside to make it 1-1.
Very highly touted draft prospect as well, coming off his, I believe, sophomore season.
Fly ball, shallow center, falls in front of Bristol Carter, and it's 2-out base knock for Anthony Silva, his first of the ball game, and it extends the inning for the Hawks.
And he's struggled so far on the Cape, starting out 6 for 44, but now he's reached in 2 of 2 plate trips, that time by way of a single.
Nick Groves digs in, and out of Niagara University now will be on his way to Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. Announcing that commitment recently, 5'10", standing in the left-hand side, 1-0 ahead on Bowery. 7 hits already for the Harbor Hawks, just 2 for the Mariners. And 1-0, instead we'll go back over to first base, check on the runner. Groves flew out to left field back in the second inning. And Bowery comes home. Ground ball softly over to McNulty at short, has to gather and fire in a hurry. It's in time for out number 3. So the Harwich Mariners able to finally have a scoreless frame, as now they will have some work to do of their own, heading up for the home half of the third, trailing 6-1 on Cape League TV. Home half of the third, and it'll be McNulty, Carter, and Curlin 2 up for the Harwich Mariners. Trailing 6-1. Getting out hit 7-2. Galan back out there for his third inning of work. Following a 1-2-3 second, he's retired 4 Mariners in a row. And the second half of the Mariner order traditionally has been something that needs improvement. So what a time to start other than now. 2 balls and no strikes from Galan. McNulty out of Boston College digs in for his first at-bat, the only batter across both teams who has not recorded his official at-bat yet. 2-0, misses outside, 3-0. A guy who's been so valuable for the Mariners both offensively and defensively. Become almost a reliable hit-a-game guy. 3-0, just catches the outside corner, 3-1. But yeah, McNulty, we saw him make the tremendous play back in the top half of the third to end the inning. On the run across the body, and not a power guy, but a contact guy. As he earns himself a 5-pitch walk. After flipping off a few Evo shields, we'll head down to first base, and he's aboard safely to start the home half of the third.
Great patience from McNulty there, not trying to do too much, all on his own. Top of the order up now. We'll see if the Mariners offense can make this one interesting this frame.
Bristol Carter's turn. He hit the ball real hard in his first at-bat. Lined out to the shortstop, Alex Ladis. Galan out of the stretch now. First time we've seen that in a while. And the pitch. And misses outside, 1-0.
Guy of his speed, it's surprising that we don't see him square around to bunt more often. That time drawing the third baseman Silva in even with the baseline. Big hole in the right side.
Pickoff attempt, but back in there safely is McNulty. McNulty does have some speed over at first base. He's stolen a base this season, but also has been caught a pair of times. 1-0. Carter thought about it, holds up, and it's in the zone. He agrees with that one, which for Bristol Carter means a lot. He loves his discipline at the plate and oftentimes will shake his head. Anything called a strike that he doesn't give a cut to. 1-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner to make it 1-2. So now Carter, the newest Auburn Tiger, going to have to protect.
Not in agreement that time.
McNulty back into first safely after the pickoff attempt. Nobody away here in the third inning. Mariners trail at 6-1 against the Hard Rocks. And the 1-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner. Carter trying to shrink the strike zone down inside as he watched that one go by. Not sure what the home plate umpire, Martin Hassenfuss, had in store for him. 2-2. Again, just misses the outside corner, and count is worked full. Cade Curlin's on deck. Mariners trying to make some sort of push here in the third inning. They got the leadoff man on, and now one pitch away from a potential second runner on the base paths. Here's the payoff pitch. This one's lined out in the right center field for a base hit. McNulty touching second, headed for third. The throw from Groves will not be in time, and it's a no-out single for Bristol Carter, trying to fire his team up down over at the bench. And runners at the corners now for the second baseman, Cade Curland.
Great job of just taking what Golan gave him, pounding the outside corner, able to flick that one over the head of Gazdar. And I think that Groves in right field was surprised that McNulty tried it. Nobody out in the inning, and the Mariners down by 5 runs. You don't typically see a guy go first to third, and that hesitation likely cost him the play.
So Cade Curlin's turn, sporting the number 11 that's been so accustomed to Brian Arndt. The throw down as Bristol Carter slides in, not in time, and it's stolen bases. So for Bristol Carter now, a team-high 7th stolen bag. Uses that speed so effectively and does a great job getting in pitchers' heads.
Yeah, Golan not paying a lick of attention to him over at first base. 2 shuffles off the bag, Golan didn't make a throw, and he was gone.
0-1 pitch. Misses low and away, and it's a ball and a strike now to the Florida Gator product.
Curlin, the guy that you want up there for the Mariners, moved up to the second spot, 1 for 3 with 2 walks against Chatham a couple days ago.
He's really started to step his game up this summer. 1-1's cut on and missed to make it 1-2. His average up to 222, which may seem pretty low, but before that, it was right around the 10% mark. On base percentage of 263. comes the 1-2 offering. This is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Curlin actually hitting up to 346 with a 452 on base percentage. Forgive me, looking at the wrong stat line. 2-2. Lined on the right field side and down for a base hit. Almost crossed up Groves again. McNulty's in to score. Carter into third. And into first with a sliding singles. Cade Curlin. And the Mariners get one back. It's 6-2.
Another great approach by the Mariners, not trying to yank anything. Galan over that outer third of the plate, even choked up 2 inches on his bat. Curlin able to flick that one over the head of DeTalo in front of Groves.
So Ryan Weingartner will dig in. He doubled and came around to score back in inning number 1. Pickoff attempt, try and get Curlin, but he's back in there safely. Quick check over by Galan. Now comes set. The pitch just misses outside. 1-0. Galan trying to keep his composure. Runners on the corners and nobody out. Harwich's already gotten one back in what may prove to be a high-scoring game. The 1-0. Big cut and a miss. Almost took him down to a knee, and it'll be 1-1. Curlin not known for stealing too many bags this season with the Mariners, but he's got speed over at first. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball just missed the inside corner. Came in really tight. Weingartner stood in there and watched it whiz by him. 2-1.
A mistake up in the zone, but Weingartner knows better than to just swing at a cement mixer. Got to be in the right spot for him to drive, which that one wasn't.
2-1. On the outside corner, 2-2. So now he's going to have to protect.
We'll see if he gets another fastball in that spot. Past couple of hitters. Singles the other way. Let's see if Weingartner will do the same.
2-2. Just missed the outside corner. That one probably had Weingartner holding his breath. Couldn't believe it got called a ball, and the count is loaded full. So a generous call on the pitch there. And now the Mariners with a chance to make it hurt. They'll take a look over at Curlin at first base. He's back in there with a slide. Watch him to be in motion. Things starting to get a little interesting here at the house. Another check over. And Galan set to come home. Big cut and a miss. Weingartner loses the battle. Credit to Galan. Took a lot for him to work through that at bat. And he's earned his second strikeout of the evening.
Big first out there. Weingartner a fastball up in the zone. Just couldn't quite catch up after off-speed after off-speed pitch.
So still runners at the corners here. One away for Matt Scannell, who's already cashed in an RBI. He's got 5 of those across his last 3 games, starting to really heat up for the M's. 0-1 now to the Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Breaking ball that grabs the inside corner. Curlin over at first with dirt all over his uniform after sliding into first as Nick Groves decided to take a bid on him. Scannell breaks his bat, throws one into shallow right field. It's down for a hit. In to score easily is Bristol Carter. Shifting up a station into second is Curlin, and the Mariners cut back into the Hyannis lead. It's 6-3, and that will draw out the pitching coach.
Great at bat for Scannell. Gonna need a new one after that, but now he's up to 6 runs batted in across the last 3 contests. Multiple RBIs in each of his last 2 games. Not the strongest piece of contact, but it got the job done. Hit any deeper, we could be talking about a sac fly.
So big meeting for the Harbor Hawks. They still have a 3-run lead, but the tying run all of a sudden being brought up to the plate for Harwich. Trying to make a late push here in inning number 3. Jake Ogden's turn. Following Ogden will be Maldonado should we get there. Runners on first and second. Ogden on the day flew out to center field back in inning number 1. They'll stick with Galan, but there is activity and some stretching out in the bullpen for the Harbor Hawks. Up and readying is Saran Coney. First pitch in there for a strikeout, 0-1. Ogden hitting just above 250 this season for the Mariners, but does have 11 runs batted in and a pair of homers, tied for third on the team. Here comes the 0-1. There go the runners, double steal in motion. The throw down to third will be in time. Steve Engler trying to take a page out of Mitch Carricker's book, and it doesn't work. Instead, it's an out for the Hawks. Scannell does move down into second, but at the cost of Curlin being thrown out, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, just a straight steal. Curlin, fairly conservative lead, and then just a little bit flat-footed off the break.
0-2 to Ogden. Swing and miss. Down he goes, losing his thumb piece in the process. And the side is retired. But the Mariners get a pair back and trail at 6-3, heading to the middle third of the ball game. When we come back, Carson Trail will take over play-by-play duties here on Cape League TV.
Illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
We welcome you to the top of the 4th inning at White House Field. The score is Hyannis 6 and Harwich 3. It's the 9-1-2 up for the Hawks, beginning with Josh Tate and then Kane Kepley. The lefty on the hill, Jack Bowery, in relief of the ace Ryan DeSanta, whose outing was cut short after allowing 6 earned runs in the second. Tate up first, right-hand batter. Just getting started with his season. Entered 3 for 10, singled in his first trip to drive in a run. The lefty from Northeastern, Bowery, comes home. Breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike 1 called. Tate standing 5'11", 175 pounds. The 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. Breaking ball at 82 miles an hour, 1-1.
And Bowery just trying to get a hold on his control early here. It was a pretty good 3rd inning for him. Just gave up the 1 hit, but now starting to see him miss high, low, and missing his spots. The grimace on his face says it all after those pitches land.
2-1 the count after the fastball high. Infield playing Tate straight away. The pitch. Breaking ball, strike 2 called. Outside corner at the belt. Bowery out of the windup. Glove is off, White in motion with the 2-2. Breaking ball outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Close pitch there, tried to get him a chase. Great discipline, though, by Josh Tate, the 9-hitter.
Seen it well to start his tenure as a Harbor Hawk. Now the payoff. Swing line drive out toward right field. Maldonado angles in, and he makes the catch.
All important first out there for Jack Bowery. Trying to work his way through this order and keep this game as close as possible. His team gave him a little bit of offense in the third inning with a pair of runs. Lead is just 3, more than manageable for Harwich to come back. His job now is just to keep that door closed.
Hawks with all 6 runs in the second inning. The Mariners with 1 in the first and 1 in the third, as the first pitch to Kane Kepley is a called strike on the outside corner. Kepley hitless today with 2 strikeouts, but a guy who so often has been a thorn in the side of this Mariners team as the 0-1. Swinging a broken bat, pop fly out towards shallow left. McNulty racing out. He's called off by Fattori, who makes the catch. 2 away.
2 up, 2 down, always a good sign, and Bowery starting to settle in here. That's now 3 straight retired, and he's got to just stay playing his ball game, heading into the difficult part of the order now, and Modisa, a guy who made DeSanto pay back in the second inning, so Hyannis swinging a hot stick tonight. There's already been 7 hits on their side of things, and Bowery needs to find a way to get them in order.
Lodis takes a fastball below the zone for ball 1. Alex Lodis still hitting .500 after going 1 for 2 to start this game. The 1-0, swing on a smash right at McNulty, caught on the edge of the grass for the final out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Excellent shutdown frame for Jack Bowery. It's Hyannis 6 and Harwich 3 as we go to the last of the 4th on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Back for the last of the 4th inning. It's 6-3 Hyannis, with the Mariners sending their 6, 7, 8 hitters up. Cam Maldonado struck out in his first at-bat, facing off against Andres Galan. Right-hander against right-hander. Maldonado, more known for his speed than power. No home runs, but 8 driven in. Feet just about shoulder width apart, slight bend at the waist. Galan shakes off the first sign from West. Now he delivers. First pitch fastball on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike.
And you mentioned the power for Cam Maldonado lacking, and that was something that he did so well at Northeastern these past couple seasons. 13 home runs.
0-1 rolled to short. Lodis has it on a backhand. The throw to first, just in time. Maldonado, playing to his strengths, was flying from home to first. But that throw a half a step ahead of him for the first out of the inning.
And there's the hustle, and that's something that really shows the resilience of the Mariners. I mean, hustling everything out, even something that looks like a routine ground ball. Maldonado making it close.
6-3 Harbor Hawks 4th inning. Now Luke Heyman 0 for 1. Catcher out of Florida State, or out of University of Florida, swings the first pitch and cues it foul off to the right. Heyman, a guy with so much power, in a team full of talented players. Florida went to the College World Series this year. You lose his name, or you got to be careful to remember him on a cast of talented characters. Jack Caglione, two-way sensation. And then Heyman, who would often play first when Caglione pitched. An outstanding defender as the 0-1. swing and a miss. Also a guy with power, as we mentioned, circling back. Double-digit home runs in SEC play. Currently down in the count 0-2 to Galan, the righty out of Cal. The pitch on the way. Heyman pops one up onto the outfield grass in shallow center. The shortstop, Lodis, is called off. Kepley makes the call and the catch. 2 away.
Just got under at that time, dropped that back shoulder, and shot one right up into the night sky here. Covered in fog, so sometimes those could be trouble, but a nice job there to track it down by Kepley.
Fog not as low as it was at Chatham 2 nights ago. The Mariners, losers of 4 straight, lost a heartbreaker to the Anglers on Sunday night. 2 outs, nobody on for Vince Vittori. The first pitch, breaking ball, floats high and in tight. 6-3 Hyannis. Both teams losers in extra innings their last game as Vittori swings and fouls one straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-hand batting left fielder.
Yeah, it's been an up and down road for the Hawks. Mostly a downway road for the Mariners, but back-to-back losses and before that back-to-back wins for Hyannis. Just kind of staying right in the heart and soul of that West Division.
The 1-1. Vittori takes in the dirt. Hops up out of his lowered batting stance and takes a stroll around the righty box. Vittori swinging it well. 1 home run, 3 driven in. Galan, a deep breath out of the windup, delivers. In the dirt. Vittori, a look of determination on his face not to expand the zone, looking at a changeup. That's a pitch that Galan has had going for him throughout this season. Strong ERA through 9 2/3 entering today. The 3-1 to Vittori. Low and away, ball 4.
That's one of the things he does best. Earns his 7th walk now in 8 games. On-base percentage soars up and up for him. And nice at bat that time. Gets something on and going here with 2 outs.
Now Sam McNulty started out that 2-run 3rd inning with a walk. Same way that Vittori just extended this one. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Hawks. 3 runs, 5 hit, 1 error. It costed 2 runs for the Mariners. Step off throw to first, and Vittori just dives in safely.
Probably closer than he would have liked. Kind of caught him leaning over towards second, and nice pickoff move by Galan. Almost was able to grab him and end the inning.
As the pitch, low and inside, the catcher West cocks his shoulders toward first, but does not make a throw. 1 ball, no strikes. Vittori leading away with DeTalo holding. Big hold on the right side for the righty utility man McNulty. Step off, throw to first. This one in and out of the glove of DeTalo. It trickles away, and that may have allowed Vittori to dive back in safely.
Yeah, another close play for Vittori. He's got to be really careful to keep that head in a swivel over there. Not really much of a speedster. Does play the outfield and moves around well out there, but you don't typically see him stealing too many bases. And he's got to be wary.
NERS down 3. A walk brings up the tying run. From the stretch, Galan holds and fires. Very high. Sam McNulty out of Boston College missed a good chunk of the past, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
After sliding head first at Wareham, getting dirt in his eye, was sidelined with conjunctivitis as the 2-0 is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dirt, or we'll call it gravel.
Yeah,
Whatever's
gravel.
over at Spolian Field.
Diatomaceous earth. No red clay that they use over there, that's for sure. McNulty would be the first to tell you. The 2-1. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of West, strike 2. Bristol Carter up next, who's 1 for 2. Mariners trying to make a comeback in this one and avoid losing their 5th in a row. Have not beaten the Harbor Hawks yet this year, now in their 3rd game. A step-off throw to first. This one the closest of them all, but Vittori in back safely with the dive.
Yeah, he's really pushing the envelope over there. He's got kind of a walking lead, paces it right out towards the lip of the grass.
Galan's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. McNulty goes down for Gallan's fourth punch-out. And we are through 4 here at White House Field. 6-3 Hyannis when we come back for the 5th inning on Cape League TV.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. For First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
You need to be seen for a minor illness or injury. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Numbers on the back. They used to be called the Hyannis Mets, and they've maintained the color scheme. In contrast, the Mariners changing their colors after the trademark lawsuit, but they got to keep the name because they predate the Seattle squad as the first pitch breaking ball over for a strike to Datalo, strong right-hand batter. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, 4-3, Brewster beat Katuitt, and there's a smash on 2 hops to short. McNulty spears it, winds up, throws high to first, but a nice tag from Scannell coming down with the baseball, 1 away.
He was a big football player in high school and shows it off a little bit there. As throw across the diamond, he's forced to kind of lay a body into the big 3-hole hitter, Michael Datalo, and is able to stay on his feet. So nice play there by Scannell.
Yeah, you can tell who's maintained their toughness attribute from football. Datalo kind of strolled in there rather tentatively, and as the first pitch is inside to John Gazdar, ball 1. Scannell came down with it, lowered his shoulder, and was like, let's go. Bring it. 1 ball, no strikes. Gazdar 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored. The 1-0. Breaking ball just up and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's a good thing these rosters are pretty much fresh every year, because if this was some sort of rivalry game, who knows what would have happened after that. That was quite the hit.
2-0 pitch, down and away. 6-3 Hyannis, top of the 5th. Bowery falling behind in his 3rd inning of work. The pitch fouled back. John Gazdar. Dark hair at the back of his matching royal blue helmet. A breakout player this year in his draft-eligible season. The pitch. Swinging a line drive foul over toward the Hyannis bullpen, and one reliever tried to make a barehanded catch but could not hold on.
See if Bowery can work back in this count. He's already got the first out, an important out in John Gazdar.
3-1, outside ball 4. First walk of the game for Bowery, and a man at first for Eric Snow.
Now batting for Hyannis, DH from Auburn, number 3, Eric Snow.
And Eric Snow's been fantastic so far this season. Just recently commit to Auburn from South Florida, and a guy who stepped up his game, as I mentioned earlier, average up 50 points from last summer with the Hawks, and really filled a big production vacancy for them in their order.
First pitch, breaking ball, wraps its way over the outside corner, 0-1. Eric Snow standing at only 5'8", 185 pounds, 3 for 8 entering today against the Mariners this season. The 0-1 from Bowery. Swing and a miss. Power to fastball by him, and it's 0-2. 6-3 Hyannis, a team that has been constantly out ahead of the Mariners. Won the first 2 matchups of the year as the 0-2 is down in the dirt. Great pick by Heyman. Swiping over toward his backhand side, 1-2. Mariners have struggled this month of July, 1-5 and on a 4-game losing streak. Hyannis, after a torrid start, came back down to earth late June. Check on first. Bowery deals. Swinging a chopper to short. McNulty charges. Slings to second for 1. Curlin's turn to first. 2. A double play. And the inning is over. Bowery faces the minimum, and the 1-out walk is forced out of the twin killing. Halfway home at White House Field, it's 6-3 Harbor Hawks with the lead on Cape League TV. So we're going to pause for a quick look at the next 3 games. Peep at the Harwich Mariners schedule. It is Orleans and Chatham, both games on the road for the next 2. 6:30 p.m. at Orleans tomorrow, and 7 p.m. a makeup game against Chatham on the road Thursday. Then the NERS return home. They host the Catuit Kettleers on Friday the 12th with the 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch on Redshirt Friday. Those are the next 3 games. We're going to continue with this one after the break. It's 6-3 Hyannis over the Mariners on Cape League TV. Mariners down 6-3 entering the bottom half of this 5th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks, Kieran Caughey, out of Kent State, standing 6'1", 175 pounds, as we close the line on Andres Galan.
Andres Galan, a pretty good outing. Did his job, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Did his job. His team gave him the offense he needed, and he leaves this ball game currently with no decision, of course, because he only went 4 innings. But we'll see if Caughey's able to step in and pick up the loose change. Harwich all of a sudden has started to get their offense going. They were shut down in the 4th inning, though. Just the walk to Vittori, and other than that, no offense.
Caughey, out of Milford, Michigan.
Leading up the bottom of the 5th for Harwich.
At Kent State, a team called the Golden Flashes, 2 seasons with them so far. College numbers, a 5.74 ERA across those first 2 seasons and 58 innings pitched. Making his Harbor Hawks debut. Lustrous chain hanging around his neck. Dark brown hair at the back of his royal blue cap. Digs in working from the stretch, facing Bristol Carter, leadoff man for the Mariners. The hold, and the first pitch. Swinging a line drive on one hop past the swipe of John Gazdar into right center, base hit.
And that is now 3 incredibly hard hit balls for Bristol Carter here tonight. Lined out to short in his first at bat, then lined a single to right, and now lines one up the middle this time. He's looked really confident in his approach at the plate.
So Carter 2 for 3. 3rd line drive off his bat, and now Cade Kurland. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Hyannis. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Mariners. Up for his 3rd trip, Kurland, the right-hand batter. Caughey's pitch. Up and away for ball 1. Stadium gun has that one at 95 miles an hour. And despite our gun being a couple miles an hour north of what it should be, step off fired at first, but Carter barely off the bag and standing. Caughey hides the ball very well. Great extension down the hill. Right on right. Here's the stretch. Fastball, strike one call. Kurland 1 for 2 today. Started out 7 for 18 in the month of July. Off to a great start, average up to 346 entering today. The 1-1, there goes Carter. Pitch is swung and missed. Here's the throw to second. It is high and late anyway. Carter steals his second bag and his 8th of the year. Leadoff man now at second base, a 1-2 count on Kurland.
And yeah, another stolen base for Bristol Carter. Stop me if you've heard that before. His now team high 8th of the season. Just gets such a good jump and does so well at timing those leads. And yeah, he's always rewarded for it. Not a guy who's very easy to catch with his speed.
1-2 to Kurland. Swinging a foul, high and out of play off to the right. Gazdar holding on Carter away from second base. Trying to keep him at second before he has ideas about taking another. Big hole in the right side. Kurland choked up 2 to 3 inches on his bat, way up there. Kurland awaits as an inside move towards second. Carter scampers back, no throw.
And he's so good at getting back, too. That's the thing. He'll do all these animations over when he's in the base path, try and get in the pitcher's head, but he's so good at getting back.
1-2 in tight with a changeup. One of the first off-speed pitches we've seen from Kahi. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6-3, Mariners trailing in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out, man at second. Carter singled and stole a base. The 2-2 to Kurland. He strikes out, swing on a ball in the dirt. The catcher, West, out in front of the plate, throws to first in time. Carter stays at second, and Kurland set down on the first strikeout for Kahi.
And yeah, just a nasty pitcher's pitch. Kurland was completely fooled. Off-speed pitch on the outer part of the zone and just got him flailing, made him look silly in the right-hand batter's box. And credit to Kahi doing his job.
Carter at second now with 1 gone. We'll have to see if he thinks about stealing a bag. But now Ryan Weingartner, right-hand batting DH. The Mariners' mainstay shortstop in for his 3rd trip. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball wraps its way inside for a called strike 1. Weingartner, a guy with speed and with power, transferring from St. Joe's to Penn State this upcoming year. The 0-1. High and tight. Fastball at 95, and the count's even.
And just watching Bristol Carter in his secondary, I mean, he's almost halfway down the line. You can see he's getting in the head of not only the pitcher in Kahi, but the catcher in West, who's really worried about him going anywhere. We saw that on the drop third strike.
There goes Carter. The 1-1 is in the dirt to the backstop. Carter rumbles around third, takes the turn, and heads back to third. The third baseman, Silva, came off inside of the bag, and Carter has had a chance to round the base before Silva tried to get out of his way but couldn't immediately. It's a stolen base for Carter. He's at third. And West just kind of got 5-holed there.
Yeah, that's a spot you got to protect, and unfortunately was a little slow in his drop down to try and make the stop and slipped right through him.
Mariners down 3 in the last of the 5th. Corners in, middle back with 1 out. The 2-1. Big 12-6 curveball misses inside, 3-1. That was the first true breaking ball we've seen from Kahi, coming right over the top, Dylan C style. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count pitch to Weingartner. Swinging a foul off the knee guard of West to the backstop.
And we've seen so many pitches in this at-bat located on the inner half of the plate, but now tries to mix up Weingartner and go towards the outside. He wasn't fooled.
Contact up the middle, scores another run. Mariners down 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Let's see if he goes with the challenge fastball, in which Weingartner struck out previously, as the payoff is down and away, ball 4. So the tying run aboard again for the Mariners, and it's Matt Scannell, who's really come alive with the bat, singling home 2 runs and 2 separate at-bats this game.
And he's the sack fly leader on the team, an opportunity to do it here. Plenty of speed in Bristol Carter. You just got to find a place for it in the outfield. But yeah, golden opportunity. He's already driven in a pair of runs, and yeah, now here you go. Matt Scannell, the cleanup guy, doing what he was put in the lineup to do. We'll see if he can execute. Favorable matchup for him, righty on lefty.
Scannell digs in. We're about ready to. Left-hand batter with his right hand in a batting glove, his left hand in dominant hand. Only with a fluorescent orange thumb guard matching his alma mater, Princeton. Runners at the corners, 1 out. 6-3 Mariners trailing. The first pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by West to keep that in front on a curveball. It's 1-0.
And the really exciting news, you got Ryan Weingartner, who was tied for the team leading stolen bases before Carter had 3 tonight, so he could be well on his way to second, and that could create an interesting scenario.
The Mariners could lane the jab, or they could go for the jugular. Starts with getting the ball airborne as the 1-0. Way outside and high. He's struggling with his control. Leadoff single, a strikeout, and then a walk to Weingartner. 2-0. Step off, throw to first, but Weingartner barely off the bag and standing. At this point, you're almost hesitant to start the runner just because a walk would put Scannell aboard and move him up anyway. The 2-1, the 2-0 rather, is flared out into right field. Groves comes racing over. He makes the catch in the gap. Carter tags from third and scores easily on the play. Weingartner remains at first. A sacrifice fly for Matt Scannell. Where have we heard that before? And it's 6-4 Hyannis.
Yeah, beautiful piece of hitting by Scannell. And unfortunately wasn't hit hard enough to find a gap, but does his job, gets another run in, and just like that, a 5-run game has become a 2-run game.
3 runs batted in back-to-back games for the Mariners' first baseman, and now here's Jake Ogden. Right-hand batter with power, has a man at first and 2 away. Last of the 5th inning, it's 6-4 Hyannis, with all 6 of their runs coming in the second. Right on right, Cahy holds and delivers. Fastball in the outside corner, took something off there, and it's called strike 1. Ogden, such a tough start for him, playing nearly every day. 3 for 19 to start the month of July and hitless 0 for 2 today. The 0-1. Fastball down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. As we talked about earlier, Devin, a guy that this order depends on, certainly the power to draw this game even with the tying run at first, and an X factor for sure. Step off throw to first, Weingartner dives back in.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's a special player. You got speed over at first. If he can get a base hit, you know that Weingartner's going to be on his horse, and this game could all of a sudden get even closer.
Outfielders playing straight away, so not guarding the gaps is the 1-1. There goes Weingartner. Pitch is swung on and popped up in the air in foul ground. The third baseman, Silva, turns back towards the field of play, stumbles, and makes the catch. Looked like you overran that, and the flagpole tangled up around the flag tangled up around the flagpole above the scoreboard in right. Pointed out toward right field, blew that one opposite the way that Silva came, but he made the tough play, and the inning's over. Mariners get one more. They trail 6-4 as we go to the 6th on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the 6th inning, it's 6-4 Hyannis leading. The Mariners have scored 3 unanswered after a 6-run second for the Harbor Hawks. This is a team that's had the number of the Mariners throughout this year. Harwich still looking for their first win against Hyannis. Up first, Jackson West. Left-hand batting catcher awaits the first pitch. Breaking ball in the outside corner, strike one call.
And it's got to be such a confidence booster for Jack Bowery's offense behind him to keep adding runs and giving him a chance to go out there and pitch with support. The Mariners team being really resilient here tonight. Despite trailing by 5, all of a sudden 3, and they're right back in it.
0-1 swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Bowery, eyes shrouded by his cap, delivers. Curveball reached for and hit in the air out toward left. Vittori moves in to his right, and he puts it away, 1 away.
He keeps getting these quick outs. He's now faced the minimum across the last 7 batters, so really doing a great job through the last 2 1/3 of getting it done. His defense behind him has been tremendous, other than that one blunder in the second inning, which ultimately probably wouldn't have hurt them too much. But, yeah, no, they've been great. Harwich on the right track. Bowery just got to keep playing his game.
6-4 Harbor Hawks, top of the 6th. First pitch to Silva, up and away, ball 1. Anthony Silva, a shortstop by trade, batting right-handed and playing third base. After a sensational freshman season for Texas Christian, he's come down to earth the past 2 years as the pitch is cued off the end of the bat on a line fair past the first base bag. Silva rounds first. Here comes the throw to second from Maldonado. It's cut off. A 1-out double for Silva, and now he's reached in 3 straight plate trips.
And that's their first hit since the 3rd inning, so that just shows you the impact that Jack Bowery's had since entering the ball game, and that one pretty lucky. If that's going to be how they're going to earn their hits off Bowery, it's a pretty good sign. Off the end of the bat, just squirts down the line, and not much you can do about that.
Now Nick Groves, left-hand batter. Bowery sets at the belt and comes home with the first pitch. Swinging a smash foul up over the netting along the left field line. No balls and 1 strike. Groves off to a solid start. Entered hitting .333 and is 0 for 2 to start today. First at bat in that 6-run second inning, which at this point is the difference in the game. Bowery looks the runner back, steps off. Silva getting a little frisky. Top of the 6th, Hyannis 6, Harwich 4. Mariners have lost 4 straight, and both sides coming off an extra innings loss. Harwich's was, of course, the heartbreaker to Chatham, and Hyannis was to Katuitt. The 1-1. Swinging a bouncer foul over toward the first base dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now you're ahead of them in the count. You can waste a pitch if you like, or you can attack. Again, the number 8 hitter, so an opportunity, maybe expand the zone, go a little up, throw a ball, try and get him to chase. A lot of options here for Bowery.
The 1-2 to the lefty. Just outside. Couldn't get the call on a well-placed fastball. 2-2.
I really like that spot from Bowery, just living on the edge. Not much movement on that, but able to draw the hitter's eyes, and you know he thought about it just off the plate. A good miss.
The pitch to Groves. Strike 3 call. That time got it in there perfectly. Second strikeout of the evening for Bowery, and there are 2 gone.
They don't get much better than that. Not sure if Groves just wasn't expecting the fastball or really thought it was a bad pitch, because right in there, a little above the knees. Nice pitch by Bowery to retire him, and a big one.
Looking for another shutdown inning. 2 outs, man at second, as the first pitch coming to Josh Tate is very high with the fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Tate from Peachtree City, Georgia. Went to Georgia Southern for his last year in college. The set and the pitch. Up and away, another fastball. It's 2-0. Tate, a right-hand batter. Not much power displayed so far this season. Last year, 18 extra base hits for Georgia State in the Sun Belt Conference, as the 2-0 is a swinging foul off to the right-hand side. 2 balls and 1 strike.
This is big for Bowery. Find a way to get this guy. I already mentioned, don't want to face the top of the order, but Also runner in scoring position. Josh Tate, a guy who's already cashed in with a single thus far. So keep it out of his wheelhouse and hit your spots.
2-1. Swinging a high foul off to the right-hand side. 2-2. Hyannis 6, Harwich 4. Hawks looking for their third straight win and to take the series on the season over the Mariners after they started 2-0. Bowery's 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, it kicks away from Heyman off toward his left, and Silva jogs to third.
He's 90 feet from scoring now. Payoff pitch coming. This is really a time you got to hit your spot. I've already mentioned it, and maybe I'm sounding like a broken record, but you got to find a way to stay out of his wheelhouse, come away, pick a corner, and paint it. Don't give him anything he can hit right now.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a bounding ball to second. Curlin's got it, straightens up and slings to first. Not in time! Tate hustling up the line, beat it out. And a softly hit ball infield single extends the Hyannis lead to 7-4.
And if you're Bowery, you did your job. You got the ground ball, and Curlin playing back on the outfield grass. It was a slow roller, got kind of grabbed and wasn't fully charging. Kind of figured it would be routine, and good wheels from Josh Tate to get over there, and that's just, that run is all courtesy of him. Great infield single. Got to be proud of himself there.
First pitch in the dirt to Kane Kepley, ball 1. Tate hustling up the line, a bang-bang play at first, but he reached on what's ruled an infield single. Now it's 7-4. Hyannis scoring their first tally since the second inning. First pitch, or the next offering, is down and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Kepley, left-hand batting center fielder for the Harbor Hawks. Never a guy you want to see with runners on, or really at all. 2 for 5 Monday against Katua with the homer, and 2 runs batted in. Hot streak, and he's hit the ball as the 2-0 is ripped down the right field line, foul. I was going to say, not a guy that Harwich likes to see at all, except he's 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts. Coming into today, 3 for 6 with 2 walks and 3 stolen bases. Lots of speed. 2-1 the count. Tate at first after the infield single. Tate with speed shuffles away with Scannell holding. Left on left, Bowery kicks and deals. High and tight. Kepley bends out of the way, and it's 3-1.
And now worried about that runner over at first, knowing the kind of speed he has and thinking the inning was already over. Now he's got to go out and throw extra pitches. It's a difficult task. No one up in the pen. This is his inning to close.
3-1. On the outside corner with the fastball with some cut, 3-2. 7-4 Hyannis extending the lead in the 6th inning. Mariners trying to avoid their 5th consecutive loss. Runner gets a head start. The payoff. Way outside ball 4. He walked him. Second walk of the game issued by Bowery, and there are runners at first and second with 2 men gone. Here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting for Hyannis, the shortstop.
Now we'll draw out the pitching coach. Coach Ed talk things over with Bowery. Still no R.J. Thomas for a bit. But another jam, and it's very frustrating. He did his job, got the ground ball. This inning should have been over. It should have been over. Unfortunately, a great hustle play by Tate. Wasn't anyone's fault. Curlin just wasn't exactly expecting him to have that kind of wheels. And you know what? Here we are, new situation, and team trailing by 3 now. Just find a way to slam this door shut. You got to be careful with your selection because Ladis, the 2-hitter, can really make you pay.
So, more out-of-town scores to report. Mariners trailing 7-4 in this one in the top of the 6th. Wareham is leading 8-0 over Chatham. That is at Spillane Field. Anglers coming off that win over the Mariners in extra innings a couple of nights ago. Brewster over Katua at 4-3 at Lowell Park. First pitch. Swinging a line drive into left center field. That's down, base hit. Tate racing around third. He'll score. Kepley to third. He gets the stop sign. The throw to second base. The tag. Too late. A double for Alex Lodis, who tattoos another one. He's 2 for 4. And the runs have started to come back for Hyannis. It's 8-4.
And yeah, that was just a great piece of hitting. Ball down and in the zone. Rips it. Gets those hands right through it. Slaps it right out into the gap. And good throw. Might have had him at second. but unfortunately just a little too nonchalant, and it's going to hurt the Mariners.
First pitch breaking ball in at the top of the zone to Michael DiTarlo, a dangerous right-hand batter.
And I think the most frustrating thing for Jack Bowery is that it really should have been over in the inning. It should be a 6-4 ball game and his offense up.
0-1 down and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. But to Bowery's credit, he's filled up the zone. Lost the first guy, but not afraid to challenge Lodis. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. DiTarlo down, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third, 2 out, 2 in. It's 8-4 Hyannis here in the top of the 6th. Bowery holds at the belt. He comes home. Swinging a roller foul off to the right-hand side, ricocheting into the Harbor Hawks dugout. Kepley at third, Lodis at second. Great speed on the bases for the Hawks. It scores 2 more. The 1-2. Swinging a flare out towards second. Kurland, angling to his left, makes the catch, inning over. 2 come across to score for the Harbor Hawks, their first run since the second inning. We go to the last of the 6th. It is 8-4. Hyannis with the lead on Cape League TV.
They're cheering from home. Gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. Join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 more across for Hyannis in the top of this frame. It's 8-4 Harbor Hawks, and it's Maldonado, Heyman, and Fattori due up against Kieran Kahi.
Trailing by 4 now, Carson. I mean, it was just a 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of situation. Unfortunately, a great hustle play made by Tate to get into first base. Extended the inning, gave them another couple runs, but Harwich got to use that frustration, bottle it, and find a way to unleash it here on this pitcher.
Right on right, Kahi holds. Now he kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Maldonado expanded on a pitch up. 0 for 2 with the strikeout this game. Maldonado hoping to get locked back in and get something going for the Mariners, trying to answer back. No balls, 1 strike. The kick and the pitch. Maldonado takes outside, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-1. Harwich has lost 4 games in a row, a 1-5 start in July. Chance to turn that around, down only 4 runs, a lot of game left. The 1-1. Breaking ball, filthy, but it drops low.
You see it drew the eyes of Cam Maldonado. He kind of checked his swing, got it about halfway there, and pulled it back once he saw that late break. But a really nice pitch that time by Kahi.
That'll catch you off guard. The righty from Kent State deals. Outside, 3-1. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Hyannis. 4 runs, 6 hits. 1 error in the box score. And 1 more made in the previous half inning. The 3-1. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of West.
The admirable thing about Kahi, too, is he uses the pitch clock but takes his time. You can see him really be deliberate in getting the sign from his catcher, coming set, taking a breath, and then slow into his motion.
payoff to Maldonado. Strike 3 called right on the bottom of the zone. Frozen with the fastball. And there's one gone to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, frozen's the right thing to say. I mean, that pitch,
Now batting for Harwich.
it's got to be looking good coming in, but Maldonado, like you said, just froze. I mean, wasn't quick enough to get a swing off and didn't bother trying to catch up to it. Really nice pitch that time by Kahi.
Up next, the catcher, Luke Heyman. Right-hand batter with power. 0 for his first 2, and perhaps he'll get a couple more chances to extend his 3-game hit streak. Kahi comes home. First pitch, change up inside for ball 1. Heyman getting the night off from behind the plate 2 nights ago against Chatham. Steve Englert using catchers sparingly. The 1-0. Slider misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Heyman, a guy who can play catcher and first, excels defensively at both, but depth chart thin at the catcher's position. Using Heyman sparingly. The Florida Gator awaits the 2-0. Big curveball, very high, ball 3.
Yeah, you got just Heyman and Winslow, and you love Heyman's bat. He's got a 3-game hit streak coming in today, so you've seen Englert use him over at first base in addition to his time behind the plate. Heyman's still searching for that first knock today, though.
8-4 Harbor Hawks, 6th inning. The pitch. Slider called strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. Vince Vittori on deck. He's 0 for 1 with the walk. Heyman in there. Tapping his left foot. Kahi's 3-1 pitch. Heyman swings and pops one high down the third base line toward foul ground. Silva chases after it, but it's well back behind the lawn chairs, 3-2. Good crowd on hand tonight. The weather has cooled down, and as the fog overhead gives way to a cornflower blue twilight sky.
Cornflower blue, huh?
Yeah.
You hear that one for the first time. That's a nice descriptive adjective.
I got it from the Crayola box.
Fair enough.
The payoff pitch on the way. Heyman launches one high in the air out toward left. The left fielder, Tate, having trouble seeing it, but he finally sizes it up and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
It did seem like he stopped in his tracks for a minute and was trying to... I lost track of it up in the air. I mean,
Now batting for Harwich.
yeah, up in that
Fielder from Elon.
cornflower blue sky, you say, and just seems like it disappeared once it got above the lights. And luckily, he was right in a good position when it came back down and made it look easy.
2 outs, nobody on for Vince Vittori. Mariners down 4, 8-4 to Hyannis. Bottom of the 6th. Infield playing straight away. Before the first pitch call, he steps off. Lobs an old baseball home and gets a new one. Second pitcher of the day for the Harbor Hawks after Andres Galan threw 4 innings, allowing 3 earned runs. Righty out of Kent State replaced the righty out of Cal. The first pitch. Little hesitation, and Vittori fouls the first offering back.
That's also really well done by Kahi, trying to change up Vittori's timing, getting him to load a little longer and get off balance. When you got a versatile pitcher like that who can change up his cadence and sequence, it's a nice variety, a 5-tool player type deal.
Swing and a miss, strike 2 on a slider. 0-2. Still a lot of time left in this game. Vittori, who's been seeing it well, walked in his last plate trip. Got some power, 1 home run this season. The 2-strike pitch, another hesitation, and the pitch misses 2 feet in front of home plate.
Kind of like that Johnny Cueto thing that he used to do during his prime, back when he was in all the NL Cy Young races.
Not quite a full-blown shoulder shimmy there, just twitching his front leg from the high leg kick before coming down the hill. 1-2. 8-4 Hyannis, 6th inning. The 1-2. Up and away. Great take from Vittori. He was locked back in. Watching it wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Caught himself, held up there. Thought about snapping around, instead held it, and you see him kind of twirl out of there like, whew, thank God I didn't cut at that one.
2 outs, nobody on. Kahi kicks and fires. Vittori takes in the dirt. That was the changeup, and it's 3-2.
That's another thing that makes him so valuable. He already had the walk in the fourth inning, but works, counts, fouls off pitches, hangs in there, and he's very selective, which works to his favor, I should say, and see if he's able to win this one.
Payoff pitch to the Harwich left fielder. Check swing, appealed to first. No, he did not go. Vittori works his second walk. Nice at bat for the left fielder. And now Sam McNulty.
From Boston College, number 7, Sam McNulty.
And just keep the line moving. That's your job if you're McNulty. Even if he gets out, Vittori's done a great job of just moving the line and getting more guys to the plate because McNulty's retired. He got top of the order coming up in the 7th inning. So a nice scenario, and we'll see if McNulty can keep the line moving ahead of the red-hot Bristol Carter.
The first pitch. McNulty takes a fastball in the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Sam McNulty, super utility man out of Boston College. Walked in his first plate trip as a step-off fire to first. Vittori dives back in safely.
And they remember a few close plays with Vittori back when he reached in the 4th inning and keeping him honest over there.
Got to play conservatively when down 4. 8-4 Hyannis, bottom of the 6th. The pitch, swing and a miss. Tied him up with a fastball inside. 0-2. Vittori at first base with Ditalo holding him on. McNulty choked up 2 inches on his bat, sliding mid out his back pocket. The long hold. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swing line drive and a leaping catch at shortstop by Lodis. Inning over. A sensational leaping grab from Alex Lodis at shortstop, and the inning is unceremoniously drawn to conclusion. A 2-out walk, and that's it for the Mariners. When we come back in the 7th, Devin Dobek will take the play-by-play. It's 8-4 Hyannis on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
John Gazdar.
To the 7th inning we go. Thank you for joining us. Devin Dobek, Carson Trail with Dave Roberts alongside here up in Al Graber Press Box on Cape League TV. Good baseball game we've had for you thus far. 8-4, the Hawks lead it. As it will be Jack Bowery going back out there for a 5th inning of work, or rather a 4th inning of work. Came in the 3rd inning after Ryan DeSanto had an outing to forget. And has tried to keep this game as close as possible, despite a few bumps along the way. The 1-0 pitch now to John Gazdar misses. And it'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Barry's pitch count up above 66 now. 39 of them have been strikes. As the next pitch misses outside once again. 3 balls and no strikes. Gazdar coming in to his 4th at-bat. He singled, flew out, and walked. The 3-0. Grounded softly over to McNulty at short. Gathers and fires on the first in time to retire the speedy shortstop. 1 up, 1 down for Bowery in the 7th.
And on a 3-0 count, nice job by the Mariner defense to convert the ground out. We'll certainly take that if you're Bowery, and that might even have earned him another hitter or 2.
Eric Snow's turn. Doubled in the 2nd, and then grounded out to short twice, one of them a double play. He's also scored a run, though. There is action in the Mariners bullpen, as Carson alluded to. It's a ball and no strikes to Eric Snow, the designated hitter for the Hawks.
And that arm appears to be Andrew Evans down the left field line.
Breaking ball just misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes now to Snow. After Snow, it'll be Jackson West for the Hawks, trying to extend their lead heading into the late chapter of innings here at White House Field. 2-0 pitch. This one's popped but foul off to the right, and we'll move to 2-1. Mariners will have one more meeting with the Harbor Hawks this season. Excuse me. That will come on July the 20th over on the road at McKeon Park. 2-1. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Snow grabs his second knock of the day and turns into first with a 1-out single.
Yeah, that one rolled up the mound and then vaulted over it
Now batting for Hyannis.
like a well-struck shot at the volcano hole.
Jackson West.
Just right into center field. Snow continues to be a pill for the Mariners pitching staff. And now, left on left, Jack Bowery facing Jackson West.
First pitch to West, runs inside, almost got a piece of him, and it's 1-0. It seems like it's been a while between, at least the calls I've been on, that there's been a lot of hit batsmen. I remember there was one game where there was like 4 or 5 Mariners drilled. Since then, it's kind of quieted down. 1-0's cut on and missed to make it 1-1. Hyannis 11 hits to fuel their 8 runs, 6 hits for the Mariners for their 4. 1-1. Big cut and a miss. Nice pitch on the outside corner. And now he's ahead at 1-2. After West, it'll be Anthony Silva. Hyannis trying to improve their mark here in inning number 7. Ball game closing in on 2 hours now. Flair headed towards foul territory and into the Harwich bullpen. 1-2 is the count. We'll do it again. West has singled, scored, and stolen a base tonight. He's also struck out and flied out to left. Up and down game for him. Speed over at first in Eric Snow, but Hyannis happy with their lead but not content. We'll see if they elect to be aggressive. Here comes the 1-2. And misses outside. The throw down to try and get the runner, not in time. Looked like maybe a delayed steal or a bad jump from Eric Snow, but he's able to surprise Luke Heyman, who made the throw from his knees, which was accurate but late. And Snow will be in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. Pitch to West. Is spoiled into foul territory over towards the makeshift wiffle ball field here at White House. And we'll do it again.
Gotta dig deep here if you're Jack Bowery. Man moves up 90 feet. Doesn't matter if you can get the next 2 men gone.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And here it is. Just missed the outside corner. 3-2 now. Bowery will be throwing his 80th pitch, the next one that crosses, and that will be the most he's thrown in an outing this season by quite the margin.
Could very well be his last batter at that, too.
Surveying, and now elects to come home. Big swing and a miss. Bowery able to win the battle, and West looking to the heavens for help because he knows he probably should not have cut at that, had himself a free base, but instead, Bowery's tenacity pays off, and the Mariners now have 2 away.
Yeah, tomahawk swinging strike there. Bowery, for as rough as his past 2 outings have been, has really settled in, and he's gotten a lot of ugly swings.
Certainly has, and the only real mix-up was back an inning ago in which he just ran into some trouble. It looked like it was going to be a really simple 3 outs, and all of a sudden it spiraled into a few more runs for the Hawks. Anthony Silva's turn, ahead in the count 1-0. Bowery taking a look at the runner down at second, and now delivers. Misses outside, 2-0. Silva's been a pain for the Mariners today. One of 2 Harbor Hawks to score twice. He's walked, swiped the bag, singled, doubled, and scored again. 2-0. is fouled off to the right over towards the light pole. It'll be 2-1.
Silva, this game looking a lot more like himself. Highly touted prospect, had a sensational freshman year at TCU that propelled the Horned Frogs all the way to a College World Series berth. Struggling his last year a little bit relative to expectations, and a rough start here in Hyannis. Chance to turn things around even more.
2-1. Fouled off again. Tell you what, Bowery's been able to get a lot of foul balls. Nobody able to barrel him up and send something to the outfield. It's been just a lot of weak contact. And as a pitcher who's now 85 pitches into his outing, got to be pretty pleased with himself.
But can he put him away?
2-2. Rolled over back to Bowery. He'll field and race over to first. Apply the flip, and the side is retired. Time to stretch here at the house. 8-4 is our score. We'll be back in a flash for the home half of the 7th on Cape League TV.
Hey Mariners fans, whether at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
To the home half of the 7th we go. Thank you for joining us. Devin Doback, Carson Trail with Dave Roberts alongside as the Mariners staring at a 4-run deficit and 9 outs to work with here before we would need extras. They came back and cut it to 2 from 5, but since then the Hawks added 2 more. They've got a 4-run lead trying to win their 3rd game against the Mariners in as many matchups. Well, Carson will be top of the order to start things off for the M's. Carter, Kurland, and Weingartner.
Number 22, Bristol, Carter.
They've reached base a cumulative 5 times in their 9 at bats, so the odds are in their favor. Carter has been hitting the ball harder than most as of late. Line out to short, single over into right field on a line, and then a liner to center for a base hit. He's 2 for 3. First pitch to him. Big, healthy, cut and a miss. And it's 0-1.
We're still at the part of the game where get a couple of men on base, teed up for the big guys. They can land a blow to cut into this lead. Not in desperation mode yet.
0-1. This is outside 1-1. Carter, a native of Oak Ridge, North Carolina. 5'11", 188 pounds. Made his debut on opening day with the Mariners. 13-2 win against Katuitt, which all of a sudden seems like those games were so far ago amidst the 4-game losing skid, and breaking ball drops in. Carter can't believe it, along with some disgruntled fans letting out some moans and groans. 1-2 the count. Cahi's still out there. The pitch. Carter chops it over to the second baseman, Gazdar. Fires onto first and just beats Carter, who was flying down that line. And he's retired for the 2nd time today.
Fast up the line, but slow to get his bat off his shoulder. Looks like Cahi quick pitched him there.
Credit to Cahi mixing up his sequence, and he's all smiles as Carter trots off the field. Yeah, when you have pitchers who are able to shake things up, I already said it, but pays dividends. I mean, the guy who's been hitting the lights out of the baseball, just got an easy ground out over to second by changing it up. Pop up, heading into shallow right field. Coming in is Groves and makes a wild-looking catch, tumbling over his backside, but hauling it in. It looked like maybe he overran it, was coming in too hot, and then had to adjust quickly. And he's able to retire Cade Kerwin.
Number 2, Ryan Weingarten.
Hyannis struggling this evening with the evening sky, the bright lights, and the wind blowing out toward right. That's a couple of plays now where Harper Hawks fielders have had to reach back across their body. Fortunately for them, they were able to make the play.
Weingartner's turn. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Pops this one up. Foul territory. Should be playable for Anthony Silva. Ranging over and now back to his left and has to lay out almost a carbon copy of the play he made earlier in the ball game, in which the same thing happened. Overrode it, and it crossed him up, and he dove back and made the play. And it's a very quick 1, 2, 3, 7th for the top of the Mariners order. To the 8th we go. Still 8-4 here on Cape League TV. Call to the bullpen here. It'll be Andrew Evans coming in to take his turn out on the mound out of Kansas State. Great outing for Jack Bowery, and one he desperately needed. When all said and done, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He did his job to keep this game within reach, and both those runs he came up could have been avoided if it was just a split second earlier on a one play. But did his job, and you got to tip your cap to him.
Yeah, great bounce-back outing. Bowery knocked around in his last couple of starts, making a good case to be back in the starting rotation after appearing today in relief.
First pitch from Evans is fouled off. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Harbor Hawks, beginning with Nick Groves, who made one of those wacky catches back in the 7th inning out in right field. Groves to become a Fighting Illini. Congratulations to him on his recent commitment. Here's the 0-1, or Illini, as it's lined right to Sam McNulty, puts it away with ease. And that will be quickly one away for Andrew Evans. Seems like he's got a little bit more of a confidence out there. I mean, we've only seen him face one batter, but a really big rhythm and tempo that we haven't really seen him carry himself much with.
Yeah, a couple of outings to forget to start his year. Whip over 2 across 7 innings. Walked a few guys, gave up 14 hits.
Big cut and a miss to start off Josh Tate, and it's 0-1.
But pounding the zone with some conviction. That fastball up in the low 90s. Hard slider we just saw there.
0-1 offering to the 9-hitter. That will be cut on. And strike 2, 0-2. After Tate, it'll be top of the order in Kane Kepley for the 5th time today. 0-2. That one on the outside corner. Andrew Evans rings him up. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Sets him down on 3 pitches. And it's quickly 2 away here in the 8th.
That might be the most dominant at bat of the year so far for Andrew Evans. Looking good through his first 2 hitters.
Yeah, really sharp. Like I said, he's got this confidence and mojo out there. Just really pitching to his own style and not using much of the pitch clock. Going at his own pace, and see him really a lot more relaxed out there and composed. First pitch to Kepley is fouled off back into the netting. It's 0-1. Mariners trailing 8-4 here, in jeopardy of dropping their 5th straight game. Hyannis trying to snap their 2-game slide, and they're in the driver's seat to do so. Another pitch gets away this time, and it becomes 1-1. 17 total hits in the ballgame, 11 by the Harbor Hawks. And they've got a 4-run cushion to show for it. Here's the 1-1 offering. Big cut and a miss. Kepley almost went down to a knee there, and it's 1-2. Andrew Evans looking for a 1-2-3 inning, which is not something you can say he's had much this season. He comes set. Another deep breath. Now into his motion in the 1-2. Popped up. Shallow right field. Going out is Curlin, calling for it. And he will make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 8th. Great job that time by Andrew Evans, the Kansas State Wildcat. Shutting him down in order. And he feels good walking off that mound. Mariners with 6 outs to work with. Try and scrape together 4 runs. We'll be back for the home half of the 8th on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Home half of the 8th, and it'll be 4-5-6. Middle third of the lineup due up for the Mariners. Scannell, Ogden, and Maldonado to face the new wing, Aaron Meshulam. And that name might sound a little familiar, but the colors on the uniform don't look just exactly right. That's because he pitched against the Mariners on opening day with the Katuitt Kettleers, game in which Harwich dominated, and who knows, maybe if he's a constant within those two things, Harwich can make a comeback here tonight. But Aaron Meshulam out of Michigan State, 6'3", 195-pound right-hander. This past season for the Spartans, a 4.56 earned run average. Through his 19 appearances, started 4 of those, a record of 4-1 with 4 saves as well through 51 1/3 and 50 strikeouts to 13 walks. Really disciplined at finding the zone. First pitch to Scannell in there for a strikeout, 0-1. He'll come set at the belt once more, exclusively out of the stretch for him tonight. And just misses that one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Guy spent most of his undergraduate career at Emory in Atlanta, Georgia, taking his talents up to Michigan State in a budding baseball conference, the Big Ten. Some new additions entering next season.
1-1. Misses down low. 2 balls and a strike. Scannell's put together quite the nice day. All 3 of his at-bats have been productive. Single in the first, a single in the third, which both drove in runs, and then a sacrifice fly in the 5th. He's driven in a run every time as he grounds this one over to the shortstop. Lodis on the first just beats Scannell. Really nice play by Lodis to get the throw off in time. And there's one away here in the 8th.
Yeah, nice hustle play by Scannell. Lodis on balance, though, to make a sling across his body. Plenty of time, as it turned out, by about a step.
Final line for Kieran Kai. Looks like this: 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He was fantastic today, currently in line for the win. Should all hold to be true. Shulam comes set, and first pitch in there for a strike to Jake Ogden, who's still trying to get going today. 0 for 3, a fly out to center, a strikeout, and a pop out to third for one of the newest Miami Hurricanes. 0-1. That one got a piece of Ogden. And a guy who's been hit more than any Mariner on the team draws his 4th free pass, and he's in some pain. Crouching down on his knees with his head down. And that will draw out Amanda Lusky, the head trainer for the Harwich Mariners. Check in with him, see if everything's all right.
And that didn't look bad at first, but clearly that got him kind of a tender spot. Hard to tell if that was in the where exactly it was.
Maybe right in the back of the elbow, it appears, just a little bit above the Evo Shield spot.
I think that might have hit the funny bone.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. Nothing funny about that bone. I don't care how many times you get hit there. Steve Angler also going to come out of the dugout, but Lusky gives him the green light, and Ogden will head down to first. 1 out base runner for the Mariners here in the 8th.
Any way you can at this point in the game, down 4 runs and down to their final 5 outs. Got to get back into this game. The time to do that's right now.
Doing his job. Now it'll be Maldonado's turn. 0 for 3 on the day for Cam Maldonado. Pair of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging, and a ground out to short. Ogden tenderly leading off of first. Not big by any means, as first pitch misses inside for ball 1-0 to another Northeastern Husky. Be a nice time for him to showcase his power right about now. Next pitch is lifted high and deep out to left field. Going back, that ball is not coming back. Cam Maldonado, as if on cue, leaves the yard with a 2-run blast deep over the wall and into the night sky. The first home run of his Cape Cod Baseball League career is a big one. 8-6.
Right on cue, as you said. Finally, he runs into one, showcasing that prolific power, and all of a sudden, the complexion of this game changes dramatically with the 7-8-9 coming up.
I wonder if maybe I should start doing that a little more often, Carson.
Good time for his first home run, Luke Heyman.
First pitch now to the 7-hitter, Luke Heyman. Or rather, the second pitch makes it 2-0. And, of course, with that home run, another $500 donated to the Harwich Fund from one of the community's generous benefactors. Shout out to the Harwich Fund, who does so much for so many. That one's lifted high into the night sky by Heyman, and under at that time is Tate, and he puts it away for a very high towering out number 2.
Yeah, that one almost disappeared. Not quite hit high enough to escape the glare of the floodlights, but still high enough. Tate doing the pop-up dance now.
What a blast, though, by Cam Maldonado, maybe sparking some life into his team. Vince Vittori's turn. He digs in for the 4th time today. He's grounded out to the pitcher and walked a pair of times. Quickly behind in the count, 0-1 after a swinging strike. Another pitch coming from Meshulam, and Vittori, another big swing, 0-2. So Meshulam gets tagged. Mariners back to within 2, and now another 0-2 offering set to come home. Misses outside, and we can play the hindsight game all we want, Carson, but one can only wonder what would happen back in that 6th inning if the play had been made in just a split second earlier and the runner had been called out. Might be a 6-6 ball game.
Fractions of inches and fractions of seconds.
1-2's cut on a miss. Down goes Fattori. First time he's punched out today. And side is retired, but not before Cam Maldonado launches one into the Harwich night sky and gets his team back to within 2. To the 9th we go. Mariners looking for some magic on the other side. Be right back on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
To the 9th inning we go. Devin Doback alongside Carson Trail. And the Mariners pulling back to within 2 here into the 9th. Andrew Evans, who was able to shut down the Hawks in 1-2-3 fashion back in inning number 8. We'll try and do it once again here in the 9th. Great ball game this has turned out to be. 8-6 our score. Still anybody's contest. First pitch from Evans. Bounced in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Alex Ladis, Michael Ditalo, and John Gazdar. 2-3-4 due up for the Hawks before we head to the home half of the 9th. Chatham tied it with 2 in the 9th against the Mariners the other night. We'll see if Harwich can do the same. This one just over the head of Evans. McNulty gathers barehanded and fires on the first, but it won't be in time, and it's an infield single.
And that is all that McNulty could have done in that situation. Once that got over the leaping try of Evans on the pitcher's mound, there was no play.
And those are those frustrating situations as a pitcher where you get the ground ball, you get the weak contact, and you just get beat by speed. So he'll have to find a way to pitch out of his first base runner he's allowed here through an inning plus. Here it is. On the outside corner, 0-1. Tatalo and then Gazdar, as mentioned. Hawks leading by 2. Umpire will call time. And an indication made. Just trying to get Evans slowed down a little bit, maybe. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Quickly the count becomes 0-2. Speed over at first and Ladis. Tatalo on the day, 1 for 4. Pop up, a ground out, a line out, and a double. 0-2. Just misses outside. Good place to miss. And it becomes 1-2 now from the Kansas State product. 6'5", 245-pound right-hander, rising junior for the Wildcats. Native of Olathe, Kansas. Set for the 1-2 pitch. Popped up Out into deep right field. Going back is Maldonado at the warning track. Makes the play. Retreating over to first as he was in motion on the pitch was Ladis. And he's back in there safely with a loud out number 1 here in the 9th.
Yeah, I don't think that Maldonado was going to have a play even if he didn't catch that ball flat-footed the way he did. At the same time, still 1 pitch away. Ground ball out, somebody could roll a pair.
John Gazdar's turn. He's singled, flied out to right, walked, and grounded out to short. First pitch to him, misses way outside. Nice stop by Heyman. And yeah, the whole Harbor Hawk dugout and fan section getting into it. They're excited here in the 9th, trying to snap their slide. 1-0 pitch. This is outside again. And it seems like they're getting to Evans a little bit. All of a sudden, that confident nature seems to be subsiding. Takes a look over at the runner, as well as the roaring bench of the Harbor Hawks. The 2-0. This is outside, 3-0.
And I think he might benefit from slowing things down. Working with such urgency, I think that's turned into rushing his mechanics a little bit.
3-0 pitch. Grounded over to McNulty at second. Over to Curlin for 1, on to first in time. Another 6-4-3 double play for the Mariners. And that ends the top half of the 9th. 3 outs for a Mariner miracle. Will they complete the comeback? Find out, and don't go anywhere. Back for the other side.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. Join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
Bottom of the 9th, McNulty, Carter, and Curlin due up for the Mariners. They trail it by 2 runs, but they've been climbing the hill ever since inning number 2. They got 2 back in the 3rd, 1 back in the 5th, before losing 2 in the 6th, and then getting the 2 back once again in the 8th. It's going to be 9-1-2. So if the Mariners are going to do it, they're going to have pretty much some of their best bats coming up to the plate. Starting with Sam McNulty, who on the day is 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch from Meshulam, back out there, is outside for a ball, 1-0. McNulty has scored. That came back in inning number 3 after his walk. Then he struck out in the ensuing inning before hitting a laser over to Alex Ladis for what might be play of the year. A leaping grab. Sensational catch. Almost looked like he hit a power-up or something and got higher in the air to haul that one in. 2-0 to McNulty, a hitter's count. And the pitch. Big, healthy, rip and a miss. Tried to unload on that one. And count shifts to 2-1.
Still so important to have a table setter mentality. Don't expand the zone. Just make him throw you a strike.
Another big swing and a miss by Sam McNulty. Swinging out of his shoes. Evens up the count at 2-2. After McNulty, it'll be Carter and Kurland. And Weingartner should we get there. 2-2 pitch. Bounced in the dirt. All right, now what might be one of the highest stakes pitches of the ball game is set on tap for us. A ball earns the Mariners aboard, and the tying run up to the plate. A strike is a big and critical out, number one, for Hyannis. Payoff pitch set to come home. And it's down low. No, he did not go. So says first base umpire Mike Lum. It's a leadoff walk for Sam McNulty. It brings up the tying run in Bristol Carter.
Now batting for Harwich, the center fielder.
Big runner on base. Carter not known for his power, but all of a sudden that turns the pressure on. You have to throw Carter strikes now.
Carter on the day is 2 for 4. Tommy Barth will pinch run for Sam McNulty over at first base. So McNulty does his job, hands the baton off to Barth. Barth kicking his legs, getting ready to go in that clean uniform. Bristol Carter 2 for 4 on the day with a line out, ground out, and a couple singles in which he came around to score and swiped 3 bases in the process. 0-1 to him. One of the newest Auburn Tigers with a chance to make an impact for the Mariners. Here in the ninth, the 0-1, a nasty breaking ball that Carter thought was headed his way, instead snapped right into the zone, and it's 0-2.
Big 2 strikes to the leadoff man. That's speed on the bases if you were allowed to reach.
0-2. Carter fights it off, back up over the netting, and seems like he might have hurt his hand a little bit on that swing. Walking it off all the way around home plate and back into the batter's box.
Yeah, an awkward swing. Carter trying to dig deep now.
Cade Kurland awaiting on deck. Barth over at first. Tying run in the box. Mashulum sets in the 0-2. Misses outside 1-2. Carter staying alive to see another. Nobody's sure how to react right now at White House. Very quiet atmosphere. Everybody locking in on the moment. The 1-2. Popped up. Foul territory. Ranging over once again is Anthony Silva. And it will escape outside and into the concourse area. So Carter doing everything he can to hang in there. Seven hits for the M's tonight. But one could change all the bad stuff that's gone on in the game. 1-2 the count. Mashulum comes home. Grounded over to the shortstop Ladis. To second for 1, on to first. And it's not in time. Carter is able to leg it out. So the Harbor Hawks settle for 1. And Carter's speed keeps this inning more than alive for Cade Kurland.
Carter's still the tying run. We'll see if he's running to break up the double play or to see if he's just playing conservatively to keep the tying run at the plate.
So Kurland up, Weingartner on deck, and Matt Scannell in the hole. A lot of damage that could be done by the top of this Mariner order. Kurland on the day is 1 for 4. First pitch to him misses way outside, 1-0.
Few shuffles off the bag for Carter at first base, and he still didn't go. I think he may have had a good jump had he chose to go.
I don't think he'll be going anywhere given the situation, as the 1-0 is cut on and missed by Kurland. Raised his hands, tried to put a swing on it, and couldn't catch up to it. 1-1. Yeah, Carter, a much smaller lead, not doing his typical dancing off of first base. And here's the 1-1. There goes Carter, and this one's grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Carter rounding second, heading into third on his feet, and Cade Kurland does his job to keep the chain moving. The winning run is brought up with the tying run on base. Ryan Weingartner with a big at-bat coming up.
classic hit and run type outcome right there. Runner going, simple ground ball up the middle. If anything, that keeps you out of the double play, but it finds some grass. And now a pitching change ahead of the third place hitter, Ryan Weingartner.
Yeah, so Mitch Carricker's seen enough, wants to make a switch. Mashulum getting himself in a bit of a jam here. And things getting very, very interesting. Shades of the other side of Sunday night's game. All of a sudden coming back. How will the Mariners decide their fate? We'll find out. Call to the bullpen. We'll take a quick break, step aside, and be back on the Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Night is over for Aaron Mashulum. 1 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And he's responsible for the runners on the corners here. And the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs to work with for the Mariners. Ryan Weingartner will dig in, 1 away, as Josh Ock will be the new pitcher out of Southern Mississippi. First pitch in there for a strike, nasty, and it makes it 0-1. This season for Hyannis has a record of 1-0 in his 1 appearance, 2 innings. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. Here comes the 0-1 from Josh Ock. Big cut and a miss. Weingartner cuts right through it, and it's 0-2.
And this is the archetype of pitcher that Harwich has struggled against. Sidewinding righty, big looping breaking ball, tough sinker, but the breaker is really what's had this team off balance.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Weingartner fights this one off, foul territory. Detallo giving chase, but it gets out of play. And Weingartner will get another life. 12 hits for Hyannis, 8 for the Mariners. Mariners trailing 8-6, but the tying run on base and the winning run in the batter's box. On deck you have Matt Scannell, who's already had 3 RBIs tonight. And 3 more would really hit the spot right now for the Mariners. Here comes the 0-2. This is way outside. What a stop to knock it down by Jackson West. That ball gets by. The tying run gets into scoring position.
Laid out on his stomach there. Almost like he's diving for a ground ball in the infield.
Checking over. A slow clap arising from the White House faithful. Here comes the 1-2. Popped up. Shallow center field. Coming in is Kepley. He's under it and puts it away. Carter will come in to score, so it's a sacrifice fly. And the Mariners trail by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th.
That one carried way out there. Wind behind it. Could benefit Matt Scannell, the man up, as it already has once this year. His only home run was to the opposite field in similar conditions to these.
So Matt Scannell will dig in. 2 for 3 on the day with a sac fly. He's got a pair of singles as well. Trying to keep this ball game alive. Favorable matchup for him. Righty on lefty. Here comes the first pitch from Ock. Showing bunt, pulls it back, and into second with a dive is Cade Kurland. So Scannell seems to distract Ock, and it allows Kurland to get down into second. So now he's in scoring position. A base hit would tie the ball game.
That one off the glove of West to the backstop. Kurland slid headfirst into the second base bag, so he had no chance to get up and keep going. Ruled a stolen base.
A risk pays off for the Harwich Mariners. Decent amount of fans staying in for this one. Staying in the ballpark. Just crossed 9 o'clock here in Harwich. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Josh Ock. Misses outside, 2-0. Jake Ogden on deck. Again, that slow clap starting to go up. Here comes a hitter's count. 2-0 pitch to Matt Scannell. Lays off it, but it's in the zone at the top of it. 2-1.
Sneaky fastball velocity, too, up into the low 90s. Typically a guy from right around the side. You see like 86, 87. That one might have startled Scannell a bit.
Scannell waggles the bat in the moment, embracing it. Here comes the 2-1 offering from Josh Ock. Scannell, a healthy cut through that one, and a miss. And the Mariners down to their last strike. Hyannis dugout all of a sudden coming alive, trying to will their pitcher to end this ball game. A game they feel should have been wrapped up a while ago. Instead, the Mariners have stormed back and made it interesting. Here comes the 2-2. Popped up. Center field. Kepley setting up under it. And he puts it away. And completely puts out the Mariner magic. So the Mariners fall 8-7 at the hands of the Harbor Hawks. Third time they've lost to them this season. They have truly been their kryptonite. And what a win. What a ball game for either side. Mariners come up just a little bit short. But we'll break it all down in our Harwich Mariner postgame show on the other side on Cape League TV. Welcome into the Harwich Mariners postgame show. Devin Dobek alongside Carson Trail as the Mariners fall in a heartbreaking defeat to the Hyannis Hard Rocks. Third time they've lost them this season, and the losing streak is pushed to 5 games. Carson, initial reactions?
If you take the second half of the game, the Mariners win. That's really kind of the takeaway. You have 2 innings to forget at the beginning of the game, a 6-spot put up by the Harper Hawks in the second inning. But after that, they outscored them 6-2, and that's about as competitive baseball that they've played in a few days. So while there are still, the record's not going to show it as a win, I think that the Mariners have actually gathered some momentum heading into Orleans tomorrow and then Chatham the day after that.
Orleans, a team who's really been struggling. They're currently in last with a record of 5-15. So we'll see if Harwich can bounce back against them tomorrow. But sticking with tonight's contest, Ryan DeSanto all of a sudden just didn't give you the start you were really looking for out of him. 6 earned runs, and from there it was always an uphill battle. But Harwich was resilient. Give them credit. They found ways to come back and chip away, and they played their best game up until the very last out. Came up just short. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes in baseball. But Bristol Carter, a 3-run game. He was fantastic. Got to be happy with his performance. And then Matt Scannell, 3 RBIs on the night. I mean, these guys played to try and come back and win. And, Jack Bowery, we can't overlook his 5 innings. He kept this game close. Only gave up the 2 runs, which honestly couldn't have happened. And who knows, maybe we'd be celebrating a walk-off sacrifice fly here. But instead, it's just one of those games. If you're the Mariners, you got to shake it and look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to bounce back. A couple of unforced mistakes, an errant throw from first to third, and then an infield single that I think if Cade Curlin will have a second go at that, will make that play 99 more times out of 100. So, I mean, just couldn't quite get the throw off in time. Runner beats it by a half a step at most. Bang, bang play. But that's what the game came down to. It was a rally starting on an infield hit and a couple of unforced mistakes early in this game. The Mariners hung in there, so give them credit. But ultimately, more negatives than positives heading into tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll have to turn the page. Unfortunately, they fall 8-7. 7 runs on 8 hits with 1 error, and they strand 6 for Harwich. 8 runs on 12 hits, no errors, and 5 left on base for the Hawks. A game that lasted 2 hours and 46 minutes on a humid, turning into a cool summer evening here on July the 9th at White House Field. Was a fun one. Mariners will be headed out to Eldridge Park. First pitch tomorrow at 6:30. But once again, wrapping this one up, the win goes to Kieran Kai, with Ryan DeSanto earning the loss and Josh Ock